Chapter 347. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Hearing Xiaoping's words, all the students present focused their eyes on Xiaoping. At this time, what else did the culprit want to say? You are Xiaoping, the top freshman this year. You are indeed very capable. You are only in the 7th heaven of the martial artist realm. But you can fight evenly with Xiaoishuan and even put him at a disadvantage. You are very talented. Tianhai looked at Xiaoping, his eyes like torches, as if he wanted to see through Xiaoping's secrets. But why did you suddenly stop me? Is there any dissatisfaction with the way I handled it? Teacher, I'm not dissatisfied with the way you handled it. I'm just very dissatisfied with a few watchdogs. Xiaoping pointed to the dozen senior students on the ground and said, these senior students are tyrannical. Relying on their little power, they bully their classmates, bully the freshmen, and even openly try to kill me. According to the federal law, this kind of behavior is equivalent to murder. Even if I kill these arrogant senior students on the spot, the law will find me innocent. It is justifiable defense. Teacher, do you think this matter can be let go? He directly expressed his dissatisfaction. What? Hearing these words, half of the faces of the older students present turned green. How could they not hear Xiaoping's sinister intentions? This bastard not only wanted to cripple them, he also wanted to borrow the teacher's hand to kill them. He was extremely vicious. Then what do you want? Tianhai looked at Xiaoping and did not express his position. Xiaoping stood with his hands behind his back and said faintly, seeing that we are all students of Yanhuang University, and at the same time all of you are my seniors, I won't take them to court and let them be shot by the police. But they can be spared from death. But they can't escape punishment. I want them to apologize to me and compensate each of them with 10,000 points. Only then can this matter be settled. He stated his request. Bullshit. Hearing this, one of the seniors was so angry that his nose became crooked. He immediately shouted, you beat us up like this, and you should count yourself lucky if we don't ask for compensation from you. You still want us to apologize to you and compensate you with 10,000 points? Are you crazy? That's right, that's right. This is basically the guilty party complaining first. We're the ones getting beaten up. You brat, nothing happened to you. Instead, we were beaten up by you and our legs were broken. You still have the nerve to ask us for compensation? Even bandits aren't as shameless as you. Apologize. I'll compensate your balls. What kind of victim apologizes to the perpetrator? You've lost your mind. I've lived for more than 20 years and I've never encountered such a thing. You want us to compensate you with 10,000 points? You're asking for too much. Do you know how hard it is to earn points? We've been carrying out missions and killing monsters non-stop. We've been working for a few months, but we didn't manage to save 10,000 points. You want to take away our 10,000 points with just a casual sentence? You're simply robbing us. The group of seniors cursed, and the other half of their faces had turned green. All of them glared angrily at Xiaoping, and they simply wished for nothing more than to skin Xiaoping alive. They'd never seen such a thick-skinned person in their entire lives. The surrounding students were also speechless. This was the first time they had seen the perpetrator being so arrogant. Furthermore, he was extorting money in front of the teacher. That's right. Xiaoishuan also needs to apologize to me. Xiaoping ignored the older students and continued, he also attacked me indiscriminately. He's simply an accomplice of these murderers. He's taking the side of the evildoer. The circumstances of his crime are extremely serious and heinous. Although it's not a death sentence, he'll still be locked up for 8 to 10 years if he's caught. If he doesn't compensate, this matter won't be over. He pointed at Xiaoishuan. I have to compensate too? Xiaoishuan clenched his teeth and glared at Xiaoping. He'd never experienced such a thing in his entire life. There was actually someone who dared to ask him, a direct descendant of a king family, for compensation. This was too presumptuous. What's wrong? Don't think that you don't need to compensate just because you're from a king family. Xiaoping said in disdain. If Teacher Tian hadn't arrived in time, you would have been killed by my punch. You wouldn't even have the chance to stand here and talk. You should be grateful that I spared your life. Bastard! Do you think I'll lose to you? Xiaoishuan was so angry that his face turned red. He clenched his fists and wanted to fight 300 rounds with Xia Ping to prove his true strength. However, Teacher Tianhai waved his hand and stopped him. He said calmly, "Compensate him." "Teacher." Xiaoishuan and the others were shocked. They looked at Tianhai and thought that Tianhai had also gone crazy. "If you've thought it through, you can choose not to compensate," Tianhai said calmly. "The Cloud Mist Mountains are about to open. This is a great opportunity. If you're sued by this brat, you'll definitely be involved in lawsuits and arrested by the police. Your freedom will be restricted. By then you'll definitely miss this opportunity. If you miss this opportunity, it'll be almost impossible for you to have a next time. Especially you seniors. If you can't advance to the martial master realm within a year, you'll have to graduate and leave the school. You'll never have the chance to enter the Cloud Mist Mountains again. By then, even if you win the lawsuit, it'll be useless." "What?" Hearing this, the seniors' expressions changed. They suddenly thought of this matter. They'd already stayed in the school for 4 years, and still hadn't advanced to the martial master realm. If they missed this opportunity, there wouldn't be another one. Xiaoishuan's expression was also gloomy. However, his expression wasn't as firm as before. He also thought of this matter. Cloud Mist Mountains? What the hell is this place? Xia Ping touched his chin. "It seems that stopping you from entering the Cloud Mist Mountains without compensation is also a very interesting thing." He instinctively felt that the Cloud Mist Mountains was an extremely important place. Otherwise, these seniors wouldn't be in such a difficult position. "Shut up." One of the seniors' expression changed. "Xia Ping, don't go too far. You should know your limits." That's right. You can't go back on your word. If you go back on your word, you're a despicable person. If this matter spreads out, no one will be friends with you. Your reputation will be worse than dog shit. If you dare to do this, I'll fight it out with you. I won't let you off even if I become a ghost." One by one, the seniors shouted in fear. They were afraid that Xia Ping would change his mind. If they couldn't enter the Cloud Mist Mountains, it would be worse than losing 10,000 points. It would be as if they'd ruined their future. Xia Ping looked at Mr. Tianhai. Tianhai seemed to be looking at him calmly, as if warning him not to go too far. Xia Ping immediately made a decision. It was not bad to be able to get so much compensation. Chapter 348. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. After settling this matter peacefully, the group of senior students also left. They went to the nearby hospital, intending to treat their injuries. Some other students who were accidentally injured were also sent to the hospital. Xiaoishuan's face was gloomy. He looked at Xia Ping deeply, as if he wanted to remember Xia Ping's appearance. However, he did not say anything and left silently. I actually got 150,000 points in one go." Xia Ping smiled and felt comfortable. He got more than 100,000 points from the group of senior students in Xiaoishuan. If he went out to train and kill monsters, he did not know how long it would take to earn so much. However, such a good thing would probably only happen once. "Okay, this matter has been settled. You can go back." Tianhai waved his hand and sent Xia Ping and the others away. Xia Ping stepped forward. "Teacher, wait. What else do you want?" Tianhai stopped and looked at Xia Ping. Xia Ping said, "This time I came to the elixir department to find an alchemy master, and ask him to help me refine elixir." "What elixir do you want to refine?" Tianhai raised his eyebrows. With a snap, Xia Ping immediately took out a xianin fruit and said straightforwardly, "Xianin pill." "Good guy." Tianhai's eyes revealed a glimmer of light as he clicked his tongue in admiration. "I didn't think that you would be able to find such a rare fruit. As expected, you are truly blessed. If you want to refine the mysterious yin pill, just look for me. However, you will need 40,000 points." He said a number. "No problem." Xia Ping waved his hand. He had already looked it up on the internet. This was indeed the number of points needed to refine the mysterious yin pill. Moreover, he had obtained 150,000 points at once. Adding the 200,000 points from before, a mere 40,000 points was just a drop in the bucket. "Tomorrow morning, I will send the refined xianin pill to your villa," Tianhai said concisely. He took the xianin fruit from Xia Ping and signed a simple alchemy agreement with Xia Ping. Then he turned and walked into the castle. Xia Ping was very satisfied. As long as he refined Xianin pill, he would be promoted to the 8th heaven of the martial artist realm. Go back. Since there was nothing else to do in the medical department, Xiaping turned around and left. Half an hour later, he took the school bus back to his villa. With a snap, he opened the internet and wanted to browse the school forum for the day. However, he realized that no one knew about his battle with Xiaoyuan and the others. It was as if nothing had happened. Is it because the time is too short that no one has sent it yet? Xiaping's eyes flickered. Or could it be that someone exerted pressure to prevent anyone from leaking this matter? After all, to Xiaoyuan and the other seniors, this matter was extremely embarrassing. It was not an exaggeration to say that it was a humiliation. Naturally, they did not want this matter to be leaked out. It was highly possible that it would exert pressure on the surrounding audience. Over time, this matter would be considered a thing of the past, and they would not suffer any damage to their reputation. Do you want to hide this matter completely? How can there be such a good thing? If no one is going to expose it, then let me do it. Xiaping touched his chin, his eyes flashing. He felt that this was an excellent opportunity. If he leaked this matter, it would definitely arouse great hatred from Xiaoyuan and the others. After all, this was basically slapping them in the face and making them lose all face. He could even use this opportunity to provoke the hatred of other students. Then, he would be able to gain a large amount of hatred. He would not let go of any opportunity to gain hatred. Thinking of this, Xiaping immediately acted. No one knew how to hype up a topic better than him. Thus, he immediately registered an account and posted on the school forum. Shocking. The descendants of kings are nothing more than this. Xiaoyuan has suffered a crushing defeat in his life. A group of seniors were tyrannical, but they were beaten up, crying and kneeling on the ground begging for mercy. What is the truth of the matter? Revealed. Xiaoyuan is actually such a person. Men are silent when they see him, and women cry when they see him. This matter is extremely important, but 99% of the people still don't know about it. If you don't come to see it, it will be a great loss. He posted on the school forum one after another, creating shocking titles. At the same time, he also wrote about what happened today, describing the conflict with Xiaoyuan and the others. He even registered a few sock puppets to hype up the topic below the post. It can't be. Is this true or false? Even Xiaoyuan was defeated and beaten up on the spot. Didn't they say he was called the top freshman? If it's true, who did it? It's terrifying to think about it. If Xiaoyuan was defeated, doesn't that mean he's just a fake? He doesn't have much strength at all, and it's all exaggerated. The king families are just a joke. Only their fathers are a little powerful. Their descendants are all useless. This is what they mean by like father, like son. It can't be helped. Even if he has a good father, it doesn't mean he'll definitely become someone great. In history, it's rare to see those rich second generations, powerful second generations, and second generations of kings cheat their fathers. History can be a lesson. A few sock puppets lamented under the post, secretly belittling Xiaoyuan. Instantly, a group of students saw these posts and went into an uproar. There was a huge commotion, especially some of Xiaoyuan's fans, who were so angry that they went crazy. Impossible. Do you know who Xiaoyuan is? He's the descendant of a king and has the bloodline of the Pegasus. He's an expert in the 8th heaven of the martial artist realm. He's extremely powerful. Even some of the older students aren't his match. Only elite students can defeat him. How could he be defeated and beaten up by others? It's fake. These contents are definitely fake. Xiaoyuan has been defeated. This is a huge joke. That's right. Don't speak nonsense. You should know that slander is a serious crime. If Xiaoyuan takes you to court, you'll be in deep trouble. More than 10 senior students were beaten up? What a joke. Do you really think that those senior students are all vegetarians? They can be defeated so easily and still cry. The post owner has completely gone crazy. He needs medicine to be treated. If the post owner has the guts, tell me your address. I promise I won't beat you to death. Everyone quickly repost 500 posts. Send the post owner to jail. Spreading rumors is a serious crime. He wants to be famous and play to the gallery. We'll fulfill his wish. A group of students sneered and replied. They didn't believe these posts at all. They thought that Xiaoishuan would be defeated. This was simply unimaginable. It was a huge joke. Chapter 349. In just half an hour, these posts were completely hyped up. There were tens of thousands of replies and millions of clicks. It had already become the hottest topic on the school forum. However, most of the content was criticizing the OP, saying that he was simply spreading rumors and slandering him. Some students were lurking and watching silently. Xiaping saw that it was about time and his popularity was very high. He started to release the second bombshell, which was the photos of Xiaoishuan and many other seniors being beaten up by him. All of them looked terrible. These photos were taken secretly by Xiaping using his smartwatch. His goal was to preserve the evidence and gain an advantageous position. However, now that everything was settled, it was useless. He might as well put it on the website. What the OP said is true. I was at the scene and even took many photos as evidence. If you don't believe me, you can take a look. Xiaping immediately registered a second sock puppet and made a post. At the same time, he also uploaded some photos. These photos were also carefully selected. There were photos of more than 10 seniors being beaten to the ground. There were also photos of Xiaoishuan being punched by him and coughing up blood on the spot, looking flustered and exasperated. Immediately, the entire forum was in an uproar. Now that the evidence was conclusive and even the photos were out, no one could deny it. Seems like everything the OP said is true. Some idiots said that the OP was spreading rumors, and even wanted to forward 500 posts to send the OP to jail. Who's spreading rumors now? That's right. They're all idiots. Who do you think the OP is? Would he say something like that without absolute confidence? Now that the evidence is conclusive, what else do you have to say? All of you are bragging here, saying that Xiaoishuan is some powerful martial artist and is invincible. You even bragged about some king bloodline. Now are you still bragging? Try bragging again. It's no wonder that some people are so arrogant. They are purely frogs at the bottom of a well, and have never seen the world. They think that just because they see an expert, they are invincible in the world. They don't know that the world is very big. I don't even know how he got into Yanhuang University. He's so narrow-minded. Could he have gotten in through the back door? A few of Xiaping's sock puppets immediately mocked and ridiculed the people in the post, beating the dogs when they were down. Instantly, some students went crazy with anger, especially Xiaoishuan's fans, who went crazy. Shut up. Who's the frog at the bottom of the well? Don't you know how to speak? So what if there are photos? In this day and age, is technology counterfeiting still a strange thing? I can guarantee that these photos were all forged by the original poster, and the purpose was to please the public. Indeed, no wonder I felt that these photos were a little unnatural. So they were all forged. They used exquisite photo retouching techniques to forge photos that looked flawless. Despicable and shameless poster. Do you think you can humiliate Xiaoishuan with some fake photos? Let me tell you, this is simply wishful thinking. To be able to do such a despicable thing, one can only imagine the character of the Tower Master. He's definitely jealous. The original poster is definitely a loser who was defeated by Xiaoishuan. He couldn't defeat Xiaoishuan in real life, so he purposely came to the internet to spread rumors to tarnish Xiaoishuan's reputation. He has evil intentions. The human heart is really ugly. It's actually twisted to such an extent. When people are jealous, they can really do anything. All of Xiaoishuan's fans fought back with all their might. Even if there were photos, they definitely wouldn't admit it. They even thought that these photos were simply forged using technology. Instead, they slandered the original poster for being jealous. No matter what, they definitely wouldn't believe such a thing because it was really too ridiculous. No, this is indeed true. I was there at that time. The person who defeated Xiaoishuan was the legendary fake Xiaping. I was dumbfounded and couldn't say anything for a long time. The forum was very popular. Finally, a witness couldn't help but jump out and post a reply. Indeed, I was there at that time too. That scene was very shocking. More than 10 senior students joined hands to fight Xiaping, but they were all defeated by him. They were beaten to the ground like dead dogs. He was so strong that it was a complete mess. Later on, Xiaoishuan also appeared. I have to say that Xiaoishuan was also very strong. As expected of someone with king bloodline. However, he still wasn't Xiaoping's opponent. He was beaten until he coughed up blood on the spot. If the teacher hadn't arrived in time, Xiaoishuan would probably have been sent to the hospital. I have to say that Xiaoping is the true number one among the freshmen this time. No one is his opponent. Originally, we shouldn't have leaked these words because we were warned by the Xiao clan and the teacher that this matter shouldn't be spoken of casually. However, now that it has become so big, it doesn't matter even if we say it out. I also recorded a video. If you don't believe me, I can upload it for you to see later. Witnesses appeared one after another. They could be said to have been suppressed to the point where they couldn't say a secret. This kind of feeling was very uncomfortable. They had to say it now. However, this topic on the forum was very popular. Although they didn't know who leaked it, since there was someone who stood out, they wouldn't have any scruples. Even if they wanted to find trouble, it wouldn't be them. Therefore, all of them didn't have any scruples. Yeah, it's true. I was in the medical department just now and saw the dozen or so senior students who were beaten up. They are now receiving treatment. A student who was undercover in the medical department also replied, telling him what he had seen and heard in the hospital. It seems like Xiaoishuan also appeared in the hospital. Although his injuries aren't very serious, he also received emergency treatment. Some other students seemed to be unlucky and were also sent to the hospital for treatment. Information spread out from the medical department. With the power of the people, all the truth was revealed. Nothing could be hidden. Haha, the truth is right here. What else do you have to say? Keep bragging. You even said that the picture was fake. Then may I ask if it's fake now? You're still stubborn. You have nothing to say now, right? If you ask me, how is this stubborn? It's clearly that you won't shed tears until you see the coffin. Previously, you said that Xiaoishuan is the strongest among the freshmen. Now you still have the face to say no. Who said that Xiaoping is a fake? Which idiot was it? Even Xiaoishuan was beaten to the point that he vomited blood. He easily sent a group of senior students to the hospital. If such strength is in number one, who can be number one? A few of Xiaoping's sock puppets kept bragging. Damn it. Chapter 350. Many students from Yanhuang University were attracted by the unprecedented atmosphere on the forum. The number of hits had exceeded 10 million, and the number of replies had reached hundreds of thousands. Xiaoping immediately knew that the time had come. So, he used his real account and posted with his original identity. I am Xiaoping. I didn't know what happened at first, but a friend called me up. Only then did I find out that the whole forum was discussing what happened today. But there's nothing much to say. It's pretty much the same as what everyone knows. There were more than a dozen senior students who wanted to fight me like mad dogs, but I easily defeated them. It was a horrible sight. That Xiaoishuan actually dared to stand up for these senior students. Everyone saw the result. If the teacher hadn't appeared in time, I'm afraid he would have been lying in the hospital for a month. Now he's only lightly injured. That's too easy for him. I hope he learns his lesson next time and doesn't overestimate himself. He wrote a large pile of content at great length. Suddenly, the whole forum was shocked by this post because they didn't expect that even the real person would come to the forum. What could be more eye-catching than the person involved? Big brother Xia, you're amazing. I didn't expect that even Xiaoishuan, who has been cultivating at Yanhuang University for a few years, was no match for you. He was defeated by you in one move. Aren't you invincible? Before, the students from the Cloud Realm were bragging that they were invincible. They said that Big Brother Xia, you're just a fake and that you got first place through the back door. Who still has the face to say such things now? How dare they? Even Xiaoishuan, who is recognized as the top disciple of the Cloud Realm, was defeated by Big Brother Xia. He had to rely on the teacher to save his face. The students from the Cloud Realm are a bit thick-skinned, but they're not that shameless. Who's the fake and who's the real one? The result is clear. Facts speak louder than words. 5 or 6 accounts of Xiaoping went online and shamelessly flattered him under the post. Xiaoping blushed a little. Fortunately, no one saw it, so he could still bear it. You're too kind. It's all because of everyone's praise. In fact, it's not that I'm very strong. It's just that Xiaoishuan and the others are too weak. That's why I'm so strong. Please don't misunderstand. Xia Ping's own account replied with a humble look. Big Brother Xia is not only highly skilled in martial arts, but he is also humble and low-key. He's really a role model for our generation. Compared to that Xiaoishuan, that kid is miles behind. First of all, he can't be a good person. I think it's not just Xiaoishuan who's like this. All the students in the Cloud Realm have the same problem. They're all arrogant and boastful. If they drink a few bottles of white wine, I'm sure they'll brag until the next day. They'll make you doubt your life. That's right. That makes sense. I also deeply feel that they have this kind of problem. They don't have much ability, and they love to brag all day long. Big Brother Xia used to stay in planet Yanhuang, a place with poor resources. He didn't receive sufficient training, so his progress was a little slower than that of the students of Cloud Realm. But now it's different. Everyone is standing on the same starting line and enjoying the same resources. The gap between him and the students of Cloud Realm is obvious. He suddenly caught up with the cultivation of the students of Cloud Realm, and even began to surpass them. This is the true potential of the students born in planet Yanhuang. As long as there are enough resources, the students born in Cloud Realm are nothing. I guarantee that their cultivation speed will be so fast that they will doubt their life. I even suspect that those students with royal bloodline are actually some fake goods. Their cultivation speed is so fast that they all rely on taking pills. If they don't take pills, their true colors will be revealed. Xia Ping was very insidious. Several of his sock puppet accounts were constantly sowing discord, stirring up conflict between the students of Cloud Realm and planet Yanhuang, which would definitely cause a lot of hatred. Sure enough, seeing these replies, a group of students of Cloud Realm suddenly became like cats whose tails had been stepped on. All of them stood up, not to mention how angry they were. Modest my ass. I don't see any punctuation marks of this kid being modest from the beginning to the end. Laozi has never seen anyone more arrogant than this Xia Ping. This idiom was clearly created for him. That's right. The bastard from planet Yanhuang also has this face. Isn't it just that his cultivation speed is a little faster? How dare he brag here? Who is bragging here? I'm illiterate. I really can't see it. A guy from a poor and remote place wants to be compared with the elites of our Cloud Realm. It's ridiculous. Those students with royal bloodline, which one of them is not a tyrannical warrior? Their battle records are real. How dare someone question that they are fake goods? If you have the ability, come out and let's spar. You still dare to say that our strength came from popping pills? I'll pop your face. Do you know how hard we've been cultivating? Have you ever seen Yanhuang University at 4 in the morning? A group of students from Cloud Realm scolded loudly, very unconvinced. Although they also occupied a lot of resources, they usually cultivated very hard. After all, there were too many geniuses in Cloud Realm, so they would be eliminated if they worked hard. But now this group of bastards from planet Yanhuang actually despised them like this, saying that they were all fake goods and that their cultivation was based on taking pills. Who could tolerate this kind of thing? Don't blame us for attacking you. First of all, wasn't Xiaoishuan defeated by Big Brother Xia? It is said that he was so scared that he cried at the time. If the teacher hadn't come in time, I'm afraid that kid would have been miserable. That's right. Facts speak louder than words. Big Brother Xia has only been in Cloud Realm for a short period of time, but he has already beaten the students of your Cloud Realm. This is ironclad evidence. Do you still need other evidence? Big Brother Xia doesn't even have a royal bloodline. He is just an ordinary human, but he can defeat you easily. It is completely imaginable the level of education you have. I never lie. To tell you the truth, if you don't take pills, you are just a dish. The enemy can eat whatever they want, and they don't even need to pick their teeth. A group of students from planet Yanhuang shouted, desperately attacking the group of students from Cloud Realm. After coming to Cloud Realm, they were all discriminated against and had a low status. They didn't know how sullen they were. It was rare to have a chance to trample on the students of Cloud Realm. How could they let go of such an opportunity? Don't be so angry. Chapter 351. It would have been better if Xia Ping didn't say this, but his words only added fuel to the fire. Shameless Xia Ping, who's the one with low qualifications? Say it again if you have the guts. Don't discriminate against us? What right do you have to discriminate against us? What right do you have to discriminate against us? Have you never seen a country bumpkin discriminate against a city bumpkin? Xiaoping, get out of here immediately. I promise I won't kill you. Do you think you're invincible just because you defeated a few seniors? Yanhuang University is full of hidden dragons and crouching tigers. There are a lot of people who can defeat you. Do you know that? A villain intoxicated by success. This is clearly a villain intoxicated by success. I've never seen such an angry person. He's shameless to the extreme. One by one, the Sky Realm students were so angry that they wanted to beat Xiaoping up. They had never been discriminated against like this in their lives. This was the first time. However, before Xiaoping could scold back, the students from Yanhuang Planet immediately helped to scold back. Now Xiaoping was the hero of Yanhuang Planet. Now that he defeated Xiaoyixuan, it was unknown how much face he had gained for Yanhuang Planet. How could they stand being maliciously abused by the Sky Realm students? They spat back one by one. In just an hour, the number of posts on the forum had reached 89,800, with more than 100 million hits. Almost all the students in the university, including the seniors, were involved. The direction of their abuse began to deviate from the track. From the ancestors to the grandchildren, from outer space to the womb, it was simply a war without gunpowder. Because the content of the abuse was too intense and violated the forum rules, 79,897 accounts were blocked and banned for a week. The administrator deleted the posts until his hands were tired, almost causing the background system to crash. Because some students couldn't scold them, they actually used technical means, constantly spamming posts and planting Trojan viruses. Many people were so angry that they clamored on the spot. If you have the guts, come out and practice now. Don't talk on the internet all day long. Once you come out, I guarantee that even your mother won't recognize you. Xiaoping, the initiator, had already left the forum, turned off the lights and rested. Because his purpose had already been achieved, there was no need for him to continue to sow discord. Once this kind of emotion was stirred up, it was like a wild horse that was out of control. Soon, the news also reached the ears of the dozen or so senior students who had been beaten. Because the group of students was curious about whether the things on the forum were true, they all came to the hospital for sightseeing. They looked at the group of senior students as if they were looking at pandas. For a time, the outside of the ward was bustling with activity. How tragic. It's beyond recognition. I didn't expect the things on the forum to be true. I thought it was a joke. He has been studying at Yanhuang University for several years, and has reached the 9th heaven of the martial artist realm. How could he be beaten by a freshman who has just entered the university? Although Yanhuang University is full of crouching tigers and hidden dragons, it's not like there aren't any good ones. Occasionally, there are some people who are just here to make up the numbers. Fucking Xiaoping, his luck is too good. He actually met a few inferior seniors and made him famous in one fell swoop. There are no heroes in this era. It's time to let a kid become famous. One by one, the students gritted their teeth. They were all very unwilling. They looked at the group of senior students with eyes full of contempt. If it weren't for these inferior students, how could the reputation of their Yunxiao realm students be shamed? When the senior students heard these words, their faces turned completely green. They were so angry that they trembled all over. When did they become inferior students? This was too much of a bully. Xiaoping, we're not finished with you. A group of senior students roared to the sky. Their faces were flushed and they were extremely aggrieved. They couldn't speak of such bitterness. Xiaoyixuan also heard about this. His face was as gloomy as ink. He didn't say anything, but the furniture in the villa where he lived seemed to have been smashed. The scene was very cruel. Early the next morning, the sun shone in through the window. It was very warm. Xiaoping stretched his body and finally got up. Congratulations to the host. Last night you gained a lot of hatred and public anger. The voice of the system sounded. Xiaoping touched his chin. System, how much hatred do I have now? At present, the host has a total of 450,000 hatred points. The system replied, I hope the host will work hard and increase the hatred points. If the hatred points reach 1 million, there will be a system gift package. What? Xiaoping was overjoyed when he heard this. He clearly remembered that he had obtained the pure yang immortal incantation the first time he had obtained the big gift pack. It was extremely powerful, and he felt that it was even more powerful than the king-level incantation. If he could get a big gift package, then he would probably be rich. What kind of big gift package is it? Xia Ping asked impatiently. The system said coldly, no comment. Forget it. Xia Ping waved his hand. He also knew that the system had no intelligence. It was just a program. It only followed the program. No matter how much he asked, there was no result. Ding dong, suddenly, the doorbell rang outside the villa, and a young man in green clothes appeared at the door. Who is it? Xia Ping immediately turned on the virtual projection through his smartwatch and contacted the person outside. The man in green clothes immediately said, Mr. Xia, the pill you ordered at the pill department yesterday has been successfully refined. Please come out and sign for it. He held a white bottle in his hand. The Xianyin pill has been successfully refined? It's so efficient. Xia Ping immediately went out and signed for the package with the man in green clothes. He immediately took the white bottle and entered the quiet room of the villa. He opened the white bottle and immediately revealed 3 silver pills. They immediately emitted a rich elixir fragrance, and faintly emitted a silver-white light. Such a rich and majestic elixir, worthy of being called the Xianyin pill. Xia Ping was very happy. He felt that spending 40,000 points and sending the Xianyin fruit was indeed the right choice. Gulp, without saying anything, Xia Ping immediately swallowed a Xianyin pill. The Xianyin pill immediately entered his stomach, and Xia Ping operated the pure yang immortal art. His stomach was like a furnace, and it completely refined the Xianyin pill. Voila! Soon, the Xianyin pill stimulated the endless elixir, and transformed into majestic qi, which flowed through Xia Ping's meridians and flowed into the 7th acupuncture point of his body. His whole body seemed to be bathed in the silver moonlight. Every cell of his was greedily absorbing the energy that was similar to the essence of the moon, and his vitality was constantly strengthening. Not enough, completely not enough. Xia Ping suddenly swallowed the remaining 2 Xianyin pills. Immediately, majestic energy surged out, and his qi surged like a raging wave. Boom, when the qi in Xia Ping's body reached its peak, and the qi in the 7th acupuncture point reached its peak, the door of the 8th acupuncture point was finally broken. This was simply irresistible. Chapter 352. Rumble. Xia Ping felt that after he had opened 8 acupoints, the essence of heaven and earth frantically rushed into his body into the 8th acupoint and quickly transformed into majestic vital energy. At the same time, every inch of his muscles was strengthened, every bone became harder, and even every meridian was expanding to accommodate even more majestic vital energy. Just breathing seemed to form the sound of wind and thunder, like a dormant ancient beast. Xia Ping felt that every move he made was filled with terrifying power. Bang! Xia Ping punched out and the air exploded, as if even the air had been pierced through. The fist force shot out in all directions, and the wall in front of the quiet room, which was made of titanium alloy, immediately had a fist imprint on it. Kacha kacha! What a strong power! He could not help but clench his fists. He felt that his physical strength had increased by 50% and was much stronger than before. Not only did the strength of his vital energy increase, but even his mental strength had also increased. The area within a radius of 700 to 800 meters was under his mental control. He could even sense the gravel, dust, and other things in the air clearly. His control over his strength had also become more exquisite. What's going on? Xia Ping was shocked. When the mental strength and vital energy in his body were concentrated to the extreme, the vital energy seemed to have undergone a completely different change. Under the high concentration, the vital energy began to slowly transform into a dark red mist, and even condense into a liquid. He felt that the power contained in this liquid vital energy seemed to be more than 10 times stronger than the destructive power of the gaseous vital energy. It can't be. Is this the power of vital energy? Isn't it said that it can only be obtained after advancing to the martial master realm? Xia Ping felt the changes in his body and could not help but be shocked. The most obvious change in advancing from the martial warrior realm to the martial master realm was the liquefaction of the vital energy and the evolution into vital energy. This was because the martial master realm possessed the power of vital energy. Be it speed or destructive power, it was 10 times or even more than 10 times that of an ordinary expert in the ninth heaven of the martial warrior realm. However, in order to possess vital energy, the vital energy in the body had to be transformed. Only when it was concentrated to the extreme would it evolve from vital energy to vital energy. This was a qualitative change. Although the true qi in Xiaoping's body had only liquefied a little bit, it was still in its embryonic form. If this matter were to spread out, it was unknown how many people would be scared to death. He already had the power of quintessential essence at the 8th heaven of the martial warrior realm. In other words, there was no bottleneck for Xiaoping in the martial master realm. Once he reached the peak of the 9th heaven of the martial warrior realm, he could immediately break through to the martial master realm. Could it be related to the pure yang immortal art? Xiaoping's eyes lit up. He knew that this technique was extraordinary. Even a king-level technique couldn't compare to it. After all, this was a cultivation technique that could devour the sun's energy. If an ordinary martial artist dared to absorb the sun's energy into their body, they would immediately be burned to ashes. How could it be used for their own use? However, he did not expect that at the 8th heaven of the martial artist realm, he would begin to liquefy his true qi and slowly transform it into true essence. If he advanced to the 9th heaven of the martial artist realm and completely liquefied the genuine qi in his body, he would naturally be able to step into the martial master realm without any bottlenecks. It can't be this power? Xiaoping subconsciously moved and operated the pure yang immortal art. Immediately, a strong force of genuine qi gushed out of his right fist. Immediately, a dark red flame appeared and wrapped around his right fist. Subconsciously, he punched out. Immediately, a terrifying flame erupted and formed a flaming fist. He punched out from hundreds of meters away. Bang! The fist smashed hard on the wall. The flame vibrated and suddenly, a huge fist print was blasted out, creating a dent. Even the dark red flame burned wildly, and the surrounding temperature rose sharply. Immediately, the titanium alloy on the wall was liquefied by the terrifying temperature and burned into liquid. The liquid dripped onto the ground, creating holes and white smoke. Elemental change. This is the elemental change that comes with quintessential essence. I can control the power of flames. Xiaoping was immediately overjoyed. He deeply felt the horror of this punch. Not only did the power increase several times, but more importantly, it was accompanied by a flame attack. If an ordinary martial artist was hit by this punch, they would immediately be burned to ashes and easily killed. Why was the martial master realm so tyrannical that it had been called a master realm martial artist by humans in the world? Even university teachers were only at this level of cultivation. It was not just because of the power of genuine essence. More importantly, after advancing to the martial master realm, the elemental power of the main cultivation method began to show. Some martial artists could control ice and snow, and with one punch they could freeze 1,000 miles. Some could control fire, and with one punch they could turn 100 miles into molten lava. Some could control airflow, and in one day they could fly tens of thousands of miles. With these elemental powers, the martial master realm was 10 times stronger than the martial artist realm, or even dozens of times or even hundreds of times stronger. This was the real master realm expert, who was above countless martial artists and could be called a general, commanding thousands of subordinates. Xiaoping also remembered that when he was in the Beast Island trial, he had seen the attack of his teacher, Qiushu. With one palm, a group of criminals was completely frozen and turned into ice men. This was the power of controlling ice and snow. This was at least the power of a martial master realm expert. It was so strong that it made one's hair stand on end. However, Qiushu could actually control ice and snow, and these criminals were only frozen and not killed. Clearly, the precision of the power control was extraordinary. It was definitely not something an ordinary martial master realm expert could compare with. However, not every martial master was so tyrannical. For example, among the martial artists who could control fire, some could only reach a temperature of 100 degrees, some could reach a few hundred degrees, and some could reach 1,000 or 10,000 degrees. This was related to the main cultivation method. The more powerful the cultivation method, the more powerful the attack power that could be displayed. Xiaoping was only at the 8th heaven of the martial artist realm, But he could liquefy his genuine qi and use a little bit of the power of fire, which was enough to melt metal. From this, one could see how terrifying this cultivation method was. It was not something an ordinary cultivation method could compare with. However, the power of genuine essence is still too little. Xia Ping discovered that with just one punch, the power of genuine essence in his body was exhausted. This meant that he could only use this kind of martial master level attack once. After that, his genuine essence would be used up. He would need a period of time to convert it back. However, if he continued to become stronger and the power of his genuine essence increased greatly, then he could easily control this power. Continue to cultivate. Thinking of this, Xia Ping was excited. He had just advanced to the 8th heaven of the martial artist realm, and his cultivation had not been stabilized. He needed to properly stabilize it. Who knows, he might be able to liquefy more genuine qi. Once he cultivated, an entire day passed. No one in the outside world knew that Xia Ping had advanced to the 8th heaven of the martial artist realm. At night, Xia Ping's communication device rang. Chapter 353. Big Brother, something big happened on the school forum. I wonder if you know? After picking up the phone, Feng Hatong couldn't wait to ask. Something happened? What happened? Xia Ping blinked his eyes. He had been in seclusion for a day, so he basically didn't know what happened in the outside world. Last night, Big Brother, you provoked fights everywhere. As a result, many students were dissatisfied. Even some senior students have a lot of opinions about you. They think that you are too arrogant and need to be taught a lesson. Feng Hatong immediately said. As a result, the president of the Kendo Club, Mu Haoran, said that he would personally deal with you to let you know the rules of Yanhuang University. Not only the president of the Kendo Club but also the Fist Technique Club, Saber Technique Club, Concealed Weapon Club, Spear Technique Club, Staff Technique Club, and other martial arts clubs have openly challenged you, saying that they will beat you up every time they see you outside. He said these things in one breath. There is such a thing? Xia Ping raised his eyebrows. He knew that there were many clubs in Yanhuang University. These clubs had a long history, and were all joined by outstanding students of Yanhuang University. Even powerful clubs could occupy a training hall and have huge cultivation resources, which attracted students to join. Among them, the club president was the elite of the elite, at least at the peak of the 9th level of the martial artist realm. Of course, there were no martial masters in the club. These people had become elite students and entered the elite area, so they would not cultivate in this place. Big Brother, no matter what, go to the school forum and you will soon know what happened. Feng Hatong shouted. Those guys are extremely hateful, and it seems that they want to join forces to deal with you. With a snap, Xia Ping hung up the phone. He immediately opened the network, projected a virtual image, and immediately went to the school forum. As expected, he saw a popular post posted by the president of the Kendo Club, Mu Haoran. Mu Haoran immediately said, originally I didn't want to come out. After all, he is just a freshman. It is normal for him to be ignorant, but he dared to say that there is no one in the cloud world. I can't tolerate this. Let that Xia Ping come out. I can defeat him with one sword strike and kill him with 2 swords. Don't think you're so great just because you defeated Xiao Xuan. He's just a new student, and he wants to act like a tyrant in Yanhuang University? This kid isn't qualified. His tone was extremely domineering, making it clear that Xia Ping wasn't his opponent. If he couldn't defeat him with a single strike, then it would be considered his loss. Immediately, many students were in an uproar, and thousands of waves were set off. I didn't expect that Mu Haoran, the president of the Kendo Club, would be provoked this time. Seems that Xia Ping is in trouble. I'm not optimistic about Mu Haoran. Think about what kind of person Xiao Xuan is. He is an expert at the 8th heaven of the martial artist realm, and has the bloodline of the Pegasus. Even an ordinary 9th heaven of the martial artist realm is no match for him. However, such a person was defeated by Xia Ping. I'm afraid that Mu Haoran might not be able to deal with Xia Ping as he wishes. Indeed, you didn't see the video. More than a dozen senior students were easily defeated by Xia Ping. Among them, there were many experts in the 9th heaven of the martial artist realm. It's not that easy to deal with Xia Ping. At that time, if I can't defeat Xia Ping and am easily defeated instead, it would be embarrassing. A group of students were talking about it. Some people felt that Mu Haoran was too confident and felt that he might not have the confidence to win against Xia Ping. No matter what, Xia Ping had a record. I can tell that you are freshmen at first glance. You don't know how powerful Mu Haoran, the president of the Kendo Club, is. A senior student immediately jumped out. He is a true master of sword arts. His talent is no less than that of Xiao Xuan. He has reached the peak of the 9th heaven of the martial artist realm. He can be called an invincible existence in the martial artist realm. No one is his opponent. Xia Ping is nothing. If he is really so powerful, why is he only at the 9th heaven of the martial artist realm now? I look at his resume. He is already a third-year student. Isn't his progress too slow? Someone questioned Mu Haoran's strength. Everyone expressed their agreement. If he was a real expert, he would have been promoted to the martial master realm long ago. There was no way he would still be in the martial artist realm after 3 years. This proved that his talent was not good. The senior student said with contempt, "You know nothing. If Mu Haoran wanted to advance, he would have done so long ago. 3 years ago, he was already an expert at the peak of the 9th heaven of the martial artist realm. The reason why he hasn't broken through is that he has been suppressing his cultivation. His purpose is to enter the Cloud Mountain range." He revealed some secrets about Mu Haoran. Cloud Mountain range? I have often heard some seniors talk about this before. What is this place? Many people asked curiously. They did not know much about this place. Xia Ping was also very curious. When he was in the elixir department, he had heard the teacher talk about the Cloud Mountain range. Those senior students seemed to value it very much. The Cloud Mountain range is a relic of the Cloud realm. The senior said in a deep voice, "You may not know this, but a long time ago, there were humans in the Cloud realm. At that time, there were many almighty martial Dao experts and even deity realm experts who fought against the demon clan. It was a legendary era. There were many experts. They were many times stronger than they are now. However, I don't know what happened, but it led to the extinction of the humans in the Cloud realm. Even the demon clan suffered heavy losses. The experts at the divine level disappeared in the long river of history. Even so, there are still many mysterious relics left in the Cloud realm. The Cloud Mist Mountain range is one of them. There are countless treasures inside," Yi Futian said. He told the story in detail. Countless treasures? Xia Ping's curiosity was piqued. The other freshmen were also itching to find out the secret within. The senior student did not keep them in suspense. He continued, "The most precious thing in the Cloud Mountain range is the water of life. There is a spring of life there that can continuously produce the water of life. If you can obtain a large amount of the water of life, you can immediately strengthen your physique, enhance your aptitude, and increase a large amount of life energy. The benefits are endless. It can even raise a warrior with ordinary aptitude to the level of a genius. For people with royal bloodlines, the water of life is even more precious. It can also purify the concentration of the bloodline and produce the phenomenon of ancestral atavism. Once you get it, you can simply soar to the sky." In order to obtain the water of life in the Cloud Mountain range, Mu Haoran forcibly suppressed his cultivation for 3 years. You can imagine how determined he was. Chapter 354. Water of Life. Xia Ping's eyes flickered. If he could get the water of life to strengthen his physique and establish his martial arts foundation, his future would be limitless. Advancing to the King realm would be a sure thing. After all, he remembered that on the homepage of the giant company, a portion of water of life was worth hundreds of billions of federal coins. It was an extremely precious treasure that ordinary people could not obtain. But senior, you have said so much, but you still haven't explained why he suppressed his cultivation for 3 years. A freshman asked the key question. The senior said in a deep voice, "It's very simple. Because the Cloud Mountain range is a mythical relic. Even now, humans have no way of controlling that place and can't understand the mysteries inside. I only know 2 things. The first is that the Cloud Mountain range opens once every 4 years. The second is that the people who enter cannot exceed the peak of the 9th level of the martial artist realm. If you are an expert above the martial master realm, then you will never be able to enter again in this life. If someone dares to force their way in, they will immediately be crushed by the mysterious power inside. He explained the reason. I see. No wonder Senior Mu suppressed his cultivation for 3 years. So it was to enter the Cloud Mountain range. It only opens once every 4 years. If you miss this opportunity, you will have to wait for another 4 years. It seems that Senior Mu is determined to get it. He is really ruthless to himself. Who can do this? Suppressing his cultivation for 3 years just for this opportunity. Ordinary martial artists would have advanced to the martial master realm long ago. With this kind of progress, who knows how many years behind other experts of the same generation? Nonsense. Do you know what it means to have a good foundation? Although it seems that student Mu has lost 3 years, it doesn't mean that the faster the better. One also needs a strong foundation. If one's martial arts foundation is not strong enough, then when one advances to the late stage, the progress will become slower and slower. Some experts in the martial master realm are even stuck in the first level of the heavenly layer for 10 years. Indeed, if one can establish a strong martial arts foundation, when he advances to the martial master realm, he will definitely soar into the sky. His cultivation speed is many times faster than other martial masters. It is said that there was a senior in the previous batch who suppressed his cultivation for 4 years just to enter the Cloud Mountain range. In the end, he obtained a great opportunity and broke through to the martial master realm. In the next 10 years, he advanced to the Grandmaster realm, far surpassing his peers. However, his peers were still struggling in the martial master realm. In this way, who would dare to say that he is wasting time and doing useless work? A King Realm expert once said that, "Your foundation will determine your future height." I presume that Senior Brother Mu has the same thoughts as well. Many students discussed animatedly, and they understood why Mu Haoran did this. Actually, Mu Haoran is not the only one doing this. There are many monsters in Yanhuang University who have suppressed their cultivation and have not broken through to the martial master realm, all for the sake of entering the Cloud Mist Mountain range. The senior continued, experts like these are the true elites of Yanhuang University. Each of them is far more powerful than Xiaoyi Xuan. Tell me, what gives Xiaping the right to be so arrogant? Hearing this, everyone could not help but agree. An unparalleled genius who had suppressed his cultivation for 3 years must have honed himself in the martial warrior realm. His skills had long reached the acme of perfection, and he was almost at the limit of the martial warrior realm. It was no joke to say that he was invincible in the martial warrior realm. It was simply impossible for Xiaping, who had just entered the university, to defeat a veteran expert like Mu Haoran. Look, the president of the Saber Dao Club has also spoken. He is a terrifying expert who is not inferior to the president of the Saber Dao Club. His saber skills have reached the acme of perfection. Someone immediately noticed that a second post had appeared on the forum. That post was posted by the president of the Saber Dao Club, Zhu Zijian. How dare a mere freshman be so arrogant? Come to the Saber Dao Club and I will show you what real saber skills are. One slash is enough to split you into pieces, Zhu Zijian shouted at Xiaping. Although it was only one sentence, it showed an unparalleled domineering aura, and he exuded an invincible aura. Everyone could feel the confidence in his heart, and he thought that he was invincible. However, this was just the beginning. After Zhu Zijian's post, it seemed to have caused a chain reaction, and posts were posted one after another. Xiaping, is there no one in the Cloud Realm? Feel free to come to the Fist Technique Club. Any expert from the Fist Technique Club is enough to defeat this so-called freshman. No. Come to the Hidden Weapon Club. This way that freshman Xiaping will truly feel despair and terror. The world of martial arts is very big. Claiming to be invincible now is just a frog at the bottom of a well. Your Hidden Weapon Club is nothing. If you have the guts, come to my Leg Technique Club. If I can't make that freshman Xiaping kowtow and admit his mistake in 3 moves, my Leg Technique Club will be closed for a month tomorrow. The presidents of the martial arts clubs appeared and posted one after another, showing their contempt for Xiaping. They thought that they could easily defeat this so-called top freshman without even needing 3 moves. Even if Xiaping had a record of defeating more than a dozen senior students, it was nothing for the real monsters. They could do it too. Otherwise, how could they dare to claim to be invincible in the martial warrior realm? This Xiaoping has really angered everyone. The sword technique club, the knife technique club, the fist technique club, the hidden weapon club, the leg technique club, and so on. Which one of them isn't a famous martial arts club in Yanhuang University? A student exclaimed. These clubs have gathered the true elites of Yanhuang University. There are hidden dragons and crouching tigers in them. All the geniuses of the past 2 to 3 years are in them. But these monsters are targeting Xiaoping. That kid is dead meat. There is no place for him in Yanhuang University. Everyone was shocked. They didn't expect that so many clubs would target Xiaoping at the same time. They made it clear that they would fight Xiaoping at the same time, and let him know what he was capable of. It's over. Xiaoping is completely finished. Being called out like this, it's impossible for him to not fight. Isn't that right? Once that kid cowers here, he will be a coward. His reputation in Yanhuang University will be ruined. No one will look up to him, and even his martial arts mentality will be damaged. He has to fight. But compared to those powerhouses who have suppressed their cultivation, and the club presidents who claim to be invincible in the martial warrior realm, that kid has no chance of winning. Soon this kid won't be able to show off anymore. He will definitely be taught a painful lesson. Chapter 355. One by one, the clubs issued a statement stating that they wanted to challenge Xiaoping and teach this arrogant freshman a lesson. This news suddenly swept through the entire Yanhuang University and was known by countless students. Even some elite students and teachers heard about it. At this time, in a villa in Yanhuang University, a group of girls gathered in the villa's hall. A girl with big eyes asked curiously, "Sister Sue, why are there so many martial arts clubs targeting that shameless hooligan? Did you use your charm to make those club presidents target that hooligan?" The other girls also looked at Su Ji. So many clubs took the initiative to attack Xiaoping and clamored to fight him. No matter how they thought about it, this matter was a bit unusual. "I didn't do such a boring thing," Su Ji said snappily. "This is purely because Xiaoping likes to court death. Last night, he dared to be arrogant in front of so many people. He said that there are no good students in the cloud realm and that all of them are fake. He even dared to slander the royal bloodline." You can imagine how many people were angered by these words. She was very speechless. She didn't expect that hooligan to be such a lunatic. He dared to say that in front of so many people. He clearly wanted to provoke public anger. Those geniuses in the cloud realm were all descendants of the royal bloodline. Which one of them wasn't arrogant? Perhaps there were some people with deep thoughts who didn't show their emotions, but most of them were hot-blooded warriors. They simply couldn't stand this kind of mockery. If they didn't completely defeat that bastard Xiaoping, what face would they have left? Wouldn't that mean that the students in the cloud realm, were all fake and relied on drugs to advance? I thought this was Sister Sue's plan. I didn't expect it to be that guy who likes to court death. He deserves it. I knew he was a shameless scumbag. Relying on his power and money, he ran amok everywhere. God knows how many girls he ruined. Now he's finally getting his retribution. It seems like we don't even need to do anything. There are a lot of people in Yanhuang University who want to take care of that shameless hooligan. It's so boring to have such a useless enemy. Before we can do anything, he killed himself. When that guy is beaten up, we'll hit him when he's down. Strip him naked and hang him at the entrance of Yanhuang University for a night. Get someone to flick his dick. That's the only way to vent my anger." The group of girls chattered, all of them looking down on Xiaoping. They felt that this brat had angered everyone, and would definitely not have a good ending. Some of the girls were incomparably valiant and directly thought of all kinds of ways to take revenge. Su Ji was also looking forward to seeing the scene of that bastard being beaten up. This is called retribution. At this time, Xiaoping was browsing through the school forum, looking at the statements of the various societies and the posts denouncing them. It felt like a storm was brewing, and the crowd was surging. "Big brother, things have gotten out of hand." Feng Hatong immediately called the Kendo Club, the Saber Club, and even the martial arts clubs like the Boxing Club and the Kicking Club want to settle the score with you. The situation is very tense right now. We should pack our bags and hide somewhere else. He was so scared that his face turned pale. Being targeted by so many martial arts clubs meant that the whole school was his enemy. The pressure was overwhelming. Most people would have wet their pants long ago. Even if Feng Hatong wasn't the person involved, he could feel the terrifying pressure, not to mention Xiaoping, who was the person involved. Hide my ass. Let them come. I can give them one hand. Xiaoping didn't care at all. For these people's statements he couldn't ask for more. It just so happened that he wanted to fight with others to consolidate his martial arts cultivation. Because his cultivation method was different from others, the more he fought, the stronger he would become. And he could also get a lot of hatred points. If he could get 1,000,000 hatred points, he could also get a big system gift pack. He was looking forward to it. Big brother, you're awesome. Feng Hatong held it in for a long time and finally squeezed out such a sentence. Most people would have been scared out of their wits when they heard this news, and those who were a little more valiant would have a gloomy face. But his big brother was good. Not only was he not afraid at all, but he was eager to try. It was as if he couldn't wait for the other party to really fight him. If I'm not awesome, who's awesome? Anyway, don't pay attention to those mad dogs. Sooner or later I'll take care of them. I'll beat them until their mother won't recognize them. Xiaoping patted his chest, very confident. After being promoted to the 8th layer of the warrior realm, there was even a part of the true qi in his body that liquefied. His combat power was extremely tyrannical. Those seniors who were known as invincible in the warrior realm were just bullshit. They were no match for him at all. In his eyes, those seniors were just whetstones that made him stronger. Big brother, if you need anything, just tell me. It doesn't matter if it's a mountain of swords or a sea of fire. Feng Hatong was immediately relieved when he heard Xiaoping being so confident. Soon he hung up the phone with satisfaction. In addition to Feng Hatong, Zhang Yaru, Nangongwu, and Chu Rong also called. They were also very worried about Xiaoping's situation. They thought that the situation was very critical and that they could go out to avoid the limelight. After this storm was over, it was estimated that there would not be so many people targeting him. Xiaoping told them not to worry about such a small matter, and that he could handle it. Even his fellow Yanhuang planet compatriots who were a little familiar with Xiaoping, such as Mu Bancheng, Radi Shifei, Lu Chang, and the others, also called to show concern, saying that they could help if there was anything he needed. However, Xiaoping rejected them one by one, saying that this was not a big deal at all and that he would just wait and see. Although the people who called to show concern were very worried, since Xiaoping said so, they could only believe him. After all, this was Xiaoping's decision and they could not interfere. It's really tiring. Xiaoping exhaled. He felt that dealing with these people was much more difficult than dealing with those enemies. Oh right, I still need to ask about the Cloud and Mist Mountains. Xiaoping felt that the Cloud and Mist Mountains was much more important than the provocations of those club leaders. This was a major event related to his promotion to the Martial Master realm. Thinking of this, he immediately went to the forum and sent a private message to the senior who was very familiar with the Cloud and Mist Mountains. He wanted to ask if the new students of the Cloud and Mist Mountains could participate. Under normal circumstances, as long as they are experts under the Martial Master realm, they can participate. The senior replied, but in order to prevent some students from overestimating themselves and blindly entering the Cloud and Mist Mountains to die, it is stipulated that only experts in the 9th heaven of the martial warrior realm can enter. If experts under the 9th heaven of the martial warrior realm want to participate, there is also a way. That is to pay 30,000 school points and get a place to enter the Cloud and Mist Mountains. Xiaoping also understood that those who had the ability to obtain 30,000 school points naturally had the ability to deal with ordinary situations. Their strength was no less than that of experts in the 9th heaven of the martial warrior realm, and they would not be stupid enough to die. When will the Cloud and Mist Mountains open? Xiaoping continued to ask. The senior replied casually, it will open in a month. A month. Chapter 356. Soon 3 days had passed. However, during these 3 days, Xiaoping had been cultivating in seclusion without any movement. He seemed to be completely unaware of what was happening in the outside world, and he had no intention of responding to the club leaders. However, even if Xiaoping did not respond, the matter was getting more and more intense. Many people with ulterior motives added fuel to the fire, causing the matter to continue to ferment. It's been 3 days. 3 days have passed, and that kid Xiaoping is still pretending to be deaf and mute. He hasn't responded at all. What does that guy mean? Someone was puzzled. Originally, he wanted to watch a good show, but he did not expect Xia Ping to have no intention of responding at all. He was still as calm as a mountain. What else can he mean? He's definitely afraid. Being targeted by so many martial arts clubs, anyone would be afraid. He's just a coward now and wait for this matter to slowly subside. Some people sneered, thinking that Xia Ping was afraid. Many people also nodded in agreement. No matter how powerful Xia Ping was, he was just a freshman, facing so many seniors, many of whom were monstrous geniuses from king families and were known to be invincible in the martial warrior realm. Even if that kid didn't know the immensity of heaven and earth, he knew that he was in big trouble. It was only human nature for him to curl up in fear and act like a coward. Do you think it's that easy to let this matter subside? It was obviously this kid who started it, but he still wants to pretend that nothing happened. It's simply a joke. At first, that kid was very arrogant. He claimed on the forum that there was no one in our cloud realm. Now that we have someone to stand up for him, that guy has shrunk back. He's simply a coward. So, those people from Yanhuang planet only bully the weak and fear the strong. When it comes to fighting, they are like reptiles. They are so weak that they have no real ability at all. He defeated a few seniors with ordinary qualifications, and yet he's so arrogant. It's not too much to say that he's a fake. In terms of character, this is not the mentality of a strong person. It's a pity that a group of people from Yanhuang planet cheered for him, saying that he was not afraid of any enemy at all. I didn't expect that. In the end, he's just like this. So disappointing. If he stood up and fought against those seniors, even if he lost, we could still praise this kid for being a real man. Even if he lost, he would still be honorable. But now, he doesn't even have the courage. His future achievements must be limited. Cowardly martial artists, no matter how high their cultivation is, they are still trash. I wonder how he managed to defeat those seniors. Could it be a sneak attack? Maybe they bribed the older students to put on a show. Many students were mocking and ridiculing him. They were very disdainful of Xia Ping's attitude of avoiding the battle. They felt that this was simply the behavior of a coward. How could such a person be worthy of being number one? Some people even made malicious guesses, thinking that Xia Ping and the older students were acting, and that they actually didn't have any strength at all. Some students from Yanhuang Star were very angry when they heard these words. They all thought that Xia Ping would never be afraid to fight, but 3 days had passed and Xia Ping still hadn't replied, which made them feel a little guilty. They didn't know what happened to Xia Ping. In response to this situation, Mu Haoren, the president of the Kendo Club, immediately said, "It's fine if you don't dare to come out and fight. I'm not a narrow-minded person. As a senior, I still have my own thoughts. As long as he is willing to come to the Kendo Club and kowtow and apologize to everyone, then I will spare him once." A group of students sneered. This was not letting Xia Ping go. It was clearly humiliating him. If Xia Ping really came to the Kendo Club to kowtow and apologize, he would probably become a laughingstock for the rest of his life. Even if his martial arts state of mind was broken, it would be almost impossible to advance to a higher realm. Yes, as long as Xia Ping is willing to kowtow and apologize in front of everyone, and is even willing to be a volunteer worker and clean the streets of Yanhuang University for 3 years, then my Saber Dao Club can forgive him. The president of the Saber Dao Club also said. Some students from Yanhuang Star were very angry. They were forced to admit their mistakes in person, and even became a sweeper. They were pointed at and ridiculed by countless people every day. This was not forgiving Xia Ping. It was clearly an opportunity to humiliate him. Some people were very angry. This group of people only dared to be so arrogant because they had cultivated for a few more years. If Xia Ping also cultivated for a few more years, these older students would not dare to be presumptuous. They were obviously bullying the weak, but they still had the nerve to speak with such a face. Indeed, it's fine if he doesn't dare to come out. After all, he is just a freshman. But because he is a freshman, if we don't educate him now, it will be difficult to teach him when he grows crooked in the future. Indeed, let him learn a lesson now, and he won't dare to talk nonsense like this in the future. This is also for his own good. Not everyone can get the education of us seniors. One by one, the presidents of the martial arts club stood up and spoke, but all of them spoke in a sarcastic tone. They were just short of mocking and ridiculing Xiaoping in front of him. For a time, Xiaoping's reputation in Yanhuang University fell to the bottom. Most people thought that Xiaoping was afraid and did not dare to fight at all. Even some students from Yanhuang Star, who supported Xiaoping, were not confident enough to speak up. At this time, in a quiet room in the villa dormitory, Xiaoping slowly opened his eyes. After 3 days of cultivation, the true qi in his body increased a little, his strength was also a little stronger, and his martial arts foundation was consolidated a lot. He had gained a lot. Has it been 3 days? There should be a lot of noise outside. Xiaoping smiled slightly because this was his plan. He deliberately waited for 3 days and did not respond so that those students would think that he was timid. At that time, he would defeat them with thunderous strength and pull them down from their high and mighty position. It was estimated that this encounter would be engraved in their hearts, and their hatred would naturally increase greatly. We've waited for 3 days. It's time to shut those people up. Xiaoping stood up and his clothes fluttered without wind, exuding a tyrannical aura, and the entire quiet room seemed to be shaking. The first club he wanted to deal with was the Kendo Club. The president of the Kendo Club was the most arrogant and the first to stand out. His strength was almost the strongest. As the saying goes, the shot hits the bird that sticks out. Teaching that guy a lesson would definitely cause a huge sensation. His first shot must amaze the world. Whoosh! Xiaoping left the villa, took a bus and soon arrived at the entrance of the Kendo Club. It was a huge training hall with a dojo inside. Above the door, there was a plaque of the Kendo Club, made of wood and slightly yellow. No one knew how many years it had experienced. This was the history of the Kendo Club and represented its honor. Xiaoping is here. Chapter 357. The news of Xiaoping's arrival shocked the entire Kendo Club. They did not expect that a person who had avoided fighting for 3 days would suddenly appear at the entrance of the Kendo Club. The news not only spread throughout the Kendo Club, but even the students of Yanhuang University were shocked. After all, the speed of the internet was amazing, and it could spread throughout the university in a short time. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In just a few breaths, dozens of members of the Kendo Club immediately came out, each with a long sword hanging on their waist. They appeared at the entrance and glared at Xiaoping. Hey, isn't this Xiaoping? You've not appeared for a long time, and now you finally appear. Are you here to kowtow and apologize? Now you know what it means to be afraid. But it's not so easy for you to enter the Kendo Club. First kowtow here 3 times. A group of Kendo Club members saw Xiaoping appear, and all of them were contemptuous and mocking. They suddenly laughed, and their eyes were full of mockery, thinking that Xiaoping had appeared here to apologize. Get out of here. Xiaoping squinted at them. I'm not here to look for small fries like you. Where is your president? Immediately ask him to come out and die. In less than 3 breaths, I'll flatten the entire Kendo Club. He stood with his hands behind his back, exuding a strong aura. He looked at the group of people in front of him indifferently, full of dominance. What? Hearing this, all the members of the Kendo Club present were stunned, as if they could not believe what they had heard. For a moment they thought that they were hallucinating. Are you kidding me? Did I hear wrong? This kid asked the president to come out and die. If he doesn't come out, how can he flatten our Kendo Club? A student was stunned. I didn't hear wrong. This kid said so. It seems that this guy is not here to kowtow and apologize, but to look for trouble. He wants to challenge the club. A senior student's face instantly became gloomy, and he stared at Xiaoping. Challenge the club? This kid wants to challenge our Kendo Club by himself? Does he think that there is no one in our Kendo Club? He's too arrogant. Who does he think he is? Does he really think that he is invincible in Yanhuang University? I've long heard that this new student considers everyone beneath him and has his eyes on the top of his head. I didn't expect him to be arrogant to such an extent. It's too exaggerated. Many members of the Kendo Club were in an uproar. All of them looked angry. The Kendo Club had been established for hundreds of years, but they had never encountered anyone who dared to challenge the club alone. This was the first time. They felt that their dignity was being despised. Are you deaf? Xiaoping waved his hand and said impatiently, Ask your president to come out and die immediately. If you're late for even a second, I'll flatten your kendo club. Don't be so shameless, you know? Gift your sister. A senior student in the ninth heaven of the martial artist realm immediately stood up and stared at Xiaoping with a murderous look. There is no need for the president to come personally. I can finish you off by myself. With a boom, he suddenly attacked. His long sword appeared like a silver dragon, and a powerful sword chi flew out. It was incomparably fast and the angle was crafty. It tore through the air, displaying the tyrannical strength of his sword Dao. As the sword slashed down, dense sword chi appeared in midair, completely covering Xiaoping's body, forming a huge sword chi net, leaving Xiaoping nowhere to escape, exuding an incomparable murderous aura. Too weak. Xiaoping's eyes revealed a trace of coldness. Without looking, he took a step forward and punched in the void. Boom! A terrifying fist force broke out in an instant, like the birth of a primordial fierce beast. The mountains shook and the earth shook, sweeping up a terrible gust of wind, bombarding the sword chi. With a few bangs, the sword chi was immediately shattered by the terrible fist force. It was torn apart inch by inch, and then from dozens of meters away, the fist blasted on the senior student's body. Ah! The senior student screamed, and a terrible force broke out in his body. The steel longsword was immediately blasted into a pair of scrap iron, and his whole body flew out, rubbing across the ground for hundreds of meters. With a puff, he fell to the ground and could not help but spit out a mouthful of blood. His eyes stared at Xiaoping, but he could not hold on for long. Soon he fainted on the ground, foaming at the mouth. How is this possible? Many members of the Kendo Club were completely dumbfounded. This senior student was considered an elite in the Kendo Club, an expert in the ninth heaven of the martial artist realm. Even when facing the president, he could exchange a few blows. But what was going on now? With just a punch, the person next to him was seriously injured, coughing up blood on the spot. His lungs were severely injured, and he was beaten like a dead dog. Such a gap was too terrible, and they could not say anything at all. They collectively lost their voices. I said, ask your president to come out. You are not qualified to fight with me. Xiaoping looked at the members of the Kendo Club indifferently, exuding an aura of contempt. You are not strong, but are you not smart enough? Do you not understand human language? His words made the members of the Kendo Club go crazy, and their heads began to smoke. Little bastard, don't be too arrogant. You want to come to the Kendo Club and behave atrociously? You are the one who is overestimating yourself. There is no need for the president to come out, we can beat you half to death. Suddenly, a group of Kendo Club members went crazy. All of them were extremely angry, and could not stand this kid for even a second. How could they tolerate someone insulting the Kendo Club like this? Whoosh whoosh whoosh. In the blink of an eye, 3 senior students appeared. Each of them had the strength of the ninth heaven of the martial artist realm. They held a 3 feet long sword in their hands, and their sword chi soared into the sky and condensed into a substance. They formed a 3 talents formation and came over to fight Xiaoping together. Get out of here. Xiaoping did not give them any chance to make a move at all. He slammed his palm into the void in front of him, like Buddha suppressing the great sage, heaven's equal, with the power to smash the 5 fingers mountain. Bang bang bang. The air exploded, and there was a series of explosions. The 3 senior students could not withstand such a terrifying force at all, and their whole bodies were smashed to the ground by the slap. Ah ah! They could not help but let out a shrill scream. One by one, they were slapped to the ground like turtles, and their knees knelt in front of Xiaoping. Gravel flew everywhere, and their hands were numb. Even the 3 feet long sword in their hands was smashed into pieces. No, no, no! The 3 senior students went crazy, and their faces were extremely ferocious. They were defeated with just 1 palm, and they even had to kneel in front of Xiaoping in humiliation. It was simply kowtowing to Xiaoping to apologize. This was simply a shame that was difficult to wash away. Chapter 358. You're being rude. Kneel here for half an hour as punishment. Xiaoping stood with his hands behind his back and said lightly to the seniors of the Kendo Club in front of him. He was like an emperor giving an order to an unworthy minister, containing an unquestionable taste. The 3 seniors were so angry that they almost vomited blood. Making them kneel here for half an hour was no less than being paraded in the streets. They would lose all their face and would definitely become the laughingstock of Yanhuang University. How could they still raise their heads? They were all mad and tried to stand up, but they couldn't do anything. Xiaoping's slap almost broke their leg bones and they couldn't exert any strength at all. This is too much. Let them go immediately. Seeing this, the other members of the Kendo Club were all furious. Making the 3 seniors kneel in front of them was also a slap to the face of the Kendo Club and trampling on their dignity. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. All of a sudden, 5 or 6 seniors rushed over and tried to rescue the 3. Bang! Xiaoping didn't even look at them. He slammed his palm in the air like a gust of wind, fiercely hitting the 6 people. A flood-like power poured out, and no one could stop it. Immediately, they let out a shrill scream and were blown away. One by one they hit the wall, making a cracking sound and splashing gravel, creating a deep human-shaped pit. With a puff they couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood and lost the strength to fight. Who else wants to stand up for them? Go ahead. If I can't kill you with one punch, consider it my loss. Xiaoping's eyes swept around and looked at the members of the Kendo Club. A terrible aura filled the surroundings, like a mountain pressing on their hearts, almost suffocating them. The members of the Kendo Club who were present gritted their teeth, but after witnessing Xiaoping's tyrannical strength, they all stopped moving forward. 5 or 6 senior students had attacked together, but they were all sent flying with one palm, as if they were trash. Even if they attacked together, they might not have much chance of winning, but they were very unwilling. Their Kendo Club was a famous martial arts club in Yanhuang University. Now, someone actually came to cause trouble and block the door, but they couldn't do anything. They could only watch helplessly as the other party ran amok and bullied people everywhere. They couldn't stand it at all. Enough! An angry roar suddenly sounded. Immediately, more than a dozen people walked out of the Kendo Club's entrance. The one in the lead exuded an extremely powerful aura, like a treasured sword that soared into the sky, exuding an unparalleled sword chi. The surrounding people all felt a stinging pain on their skin, as if they were being cut by sword chi. If they got close to it, they would suffer great damage. President Mu. Suddenly, a group of Sword Arts Club members could not help but exclaim, because the person who suddenly appeared was their Sword Arts Club president, Mu Haoran. Mu Haoran ignored the other club members and walked straight to Xiaoping. With a long sword at his waist, he stared at Xiaoping condescendingly. How dare you come to my Kendo Club and commit murder? You're so unscrupulous. Have you thought about how you're going to die? His tone was filled with endless rage. Since the founding of the Kendo Club hundreds of years ago, no one had ever been so bold as to come forward alone, block the entrance of the Kendo Club, and even make 3 Kendo Club disciples kneel in front of him. This was not as simple as a slap in the face. It was clear that he wanted to form a deadly feud with the Kendo Club. You've misunderstood. I'm not here to commit murder, but to learn from each other. Xiaoping stood with his hands behind his back, looked at Mu Haoran and the others and said lightly, but I didn't expect that the members of the Kendo Club would be so weak that they couldn't even take one move from me. This is really beyond my expectations. After all, your Kendo Club once asked me to challenge you, and your words were quite arrogant. In the end I came, but I didn't expect that I would be so weak. I thought to myself, how could you have the face to say such words? I guess these seniors are also ashamed of their inferiority and are sincerely convinced. That's why they knelt on the ground and apologized to me. He said so eloquently. Shut up. Mu Haoran's face darkened as he listened. He simply could not bear to listen to it. It was clearly this kid who used violence to force the Kendo Club members to kneel on the ground. This was coercion and intimidation. But from this bastard's mouth, he said that the seniors were willing to admit defeat. It was simply a dog's mouth that could not spit out ivory. Since you want to experience the strength of my Kendo Club, then I'll let you see what a real master of Kendo is. Mu Haoran shouted angrily. As soon as his voice fell, he instantly made his move. He pulled out the long sword from his waist and slashed out with lightning speed. It was so fast that people couldn't see it with their eyes. Xiaoping had long been prepared. He used his mental strength to perceive the surroundings. Even the slightest movement could not be hidden from his perception. He smashed his fist in the air, like a giant bear descending, exuding unparalleled power. Bang! The two forces collided with each other, and immediately there was an earth-shattering explosion. The qi vibrated and even a huge deep pit appeared on the ground. The wind swept around and the yellow sand rolled. You do have some ability, but if you want to behave atrociously in front of me, Mu Haoran, it is far from enough. A cold light flashed in Mu Haoran's eyes. He had no intention of stopping and slashed out with his sword. Immediately, dense sword qi appeared in the air. Each sword qi was like a thunderbolt, containing incomparable destructive power. They intertwined with each other and formed a terrible electric net, covering Xiaoping. This is Senior Mu's thunderclap swordsmanship. With one slash, it is like a thunderbolt. Any demon or ghost will be smashed into pieces. This is a king-level sword technique. That kid is dead for sure. It is impossible for him to resist. Senior Mu not only learned the king-level sword technique, but he also has the bloodline of the Thunder Cat. His body contains the power of thunderbolts. With one slash, it is as fast as lightning. Who can resist it? Indeed, once he advances to the martial master realm, he can master the power of thunderbolts. His killing power is unparalleled. Even if he is only at the 9th heaven of the martial warrior realm, it is enough to defeat all enemies. If he doesn't have this level of power, how can he be called invincible in the martial warrior realm? A small freshman dares to provoke Senior Mu. He is simply tired of living. The surrounding students sneered. They thought that Xiaoping absolutely could not win. Whether it was genuine qi cultivation, bloodline power, or even combat experience, he was at a disadvantage. Xiaoping still wanted to win? What a joke. Go to hell. Xiaoping also made a move. His body turned into a white crane, and his body also contained an earth-shattering sword essence. Like a master of swordsmanship, he pointed at Mu Haoran. Chapter 359. Swoosh swoosh swoosh. In an instant, a tyrannical sword qi erupted from Xiaoping's body, slashing out like a storm. Every slash was extremely sharp, as if it could split the sky into two. Even this sword qi was infused with spiritual power, almost condensing into a substance. Bang bang bang. The sword qi collided with the sword qi, causing intense sparks in the air. The air vibrated and streams of genuine qi were sent flying, falling down like meteors, smashing a deep pit. What? Mu Haoran couldn't believe it. When he used the thunderclap swordplay, it was as fast as lightning, and its power was tyrannical. An ordinary expert in the 9th heaven of the martial artist realm wouldn't be able to withstand it. However, this kid defeated his thunderclap swordplay in an instant, displaying terrifying combat power. That kind of power was not inferior to his. But at this moment he felt his hair stand on end. He saw Xiaoping standing on one foot, and a faint shadow of a white crane appeared behind him. With a finger, it was like a peerless sword grandmaster slashing down, causing the ground to tremble. Dong! A terrifying sword qi blasted out, almost 10 times more tyrannical than the other sword qi. In the blink of an eye, it reached Mu Haoran, easily defeating the sword qi along the way, instantly hitting his body. He almost instinctively circulated the protective technique in his body, but it was useless. The tyrannical sword qi almost penetrated his protective technique, invading his internal organs. His entire body was sent flying by the huge force, and his feet scraped the ground for dozens of meters before finally stopping. There were a few deep cracks on the ground and gravel rolled down. Mu Haoran couldn't help but vomit a mouthful of blood. After being hit by this move, he felt the tyrannical sword qi invading his lungs, and he was already slightly injured. 8th heaven of the martial artist realm. When did you advance to the 8th heaven of the martial artist realm? Mu Haoran's eyes widened, almost unable to believe the power in Xiaoping's body. This was not the power that a 7th heaven of the martial artist realm could display. At least 8 acupoints were unblocked, reaching the 8th heaven of the martial artist realm. But the problem was that this kid was only in the 7th heaven of the martial artist realm not long ago. How could he unblock an acupoint in just a few days? His improvement speed was too shocking. 8th heaven of the martial artist realm? You must be joking. When this kid fought with Xiaoyuan, he was only at level 7. After 3 days he advanced? Evildoer. This guy is definitely a peerless evildoer. Opening acupoints is as easy as drinking water. Could it be that he didn't come out for the past 3 days not because he was afraid, but because he was at a critical juncture in his cultivation and was about to advance to the 8th level of fighter? Everyone was in a heated discussion, all of them shocked. They were completely stunned by Xiaoping's current cultivation base. After all, which one of them didn't need to spend a lot of time and resources to clear their insight acupoints? But this kid seemed to have no bottlenecks at all, and he easily stepped into a higher realm. Are you scared? Xiaoping looked up at the sky and let out a long sigh. This is why I said that you students from the cloud realm are all fake. It's just because you have superior cultivation resources that you can improve so quickly. Right now, I'm on the same level as all of you and I have the same cultivation resources. Surpassing you in cultivation is just a normal thing. But all of you are not convinced and even scolded and ridiculed me on the forum. It's okay, I've seen many people like you. If you are not convinced, I'll beat you up until you are convinced. He clenched his fists. Bullshit. Hearing these words, Mu Haoran was furious. He glared at Xiaoping and said, You said I'm scared? Who do you think I, Mu Haoran, am? I'm a descendant of a dignified sovereign clan, and I've been cultivating in Yanhuang University for 3 years. I can break through to the martial master realm at any time, and you say I'm scared of you? What a joke. Since you want to die, I'll grant you your wish. Boom, as soon as he finished speaking, an aura that was several times stronger than before exploded from his body. The air seemed to distort, and an illusion appeared. A purple thunder cat seemed to appear behind him, and its skin was covered with purple thunder patterns. In the sky, crackling thunder and lightning could be vaguely seen. It was as if a dark cloud was floating over from the sky. This power almost affected the weather. Senior Mu is really angry. He actually stimulated the king's bloodline in his body. A student exclaimed and trembled. He felt the terrifying pressure from Mu Haoran, as if he was facing a king. He didn't have the courage to fight him. It can't be. Isn't this the power of quintessential essence, which can control the power of attributes? Senior Mu is only a martial artist 9th heaven now. Can he already control this power? This is the true horror of the king's bloodline. After reaching the martial artist 9th heaven, the power of the bloodline in the body will slowly awaken, and after reaching the martial master realm, the potential will be completely stimulated. Even if Senior Mu hasn't reached the martial master realm, he has been stuck in the martial artist 9th heaven for 3 years. He has long understood the mystery of quintessential essence and mastered some of its power. And Mu Haoran's bloodline seems to be called Thunder Cat, a terrifying demonic beast that controls thunder. I guess he has also inherited this bloodline power, which makes his combat power extraordinary. Xiaoping is completely finished. Once the king's bloodline is stimulated, his strength and speed will greatly increase, and he can even display a trace of the power of thunder. How can he fight? Everyone was discussing and couldn't help but retreat, afraid that they would be hurt by Mu Haoran's power and be implicated. Bang! At this moment Mu Haoran stomped on the ground, immediately creating a terrifying pit. His body produced a terrifying propulsion force, and the surface of his body was surrounded by thunder and lightning crackling. His whole body rushed over at an extremely fast speed, tearing through the air. Because his speed was too fast, it even burnt the air, creating traces of sparks. Go to hell! Mu Haoran shouted angrily and slashed down with his sword. It descended from the sky like a thunder god, exploding with a terrifying power. Amazing! Xiaoping's eyes flashed. He also felt the terror of his opponent's sword. It was not something that Xiaoyuan's power could compare with. This had already exceeded the power of the martial artist 9th heaven, and could be said to be half a step to the martial master realm. Obviously, it had not slashed yet, but the thunder vibrated around and actually landed on the surface of his body, making crackling sounds and making him numb. If an ordinary martial artist came into contact with this move, He would probably be paralyzed by the electricity and his body would not be able to move, and then he would be killed by the sword. Dark North Body Protection Skill. Chapter 360. Bang Bang Bang. Mu Haoran slashed at Xiaping with his sword. Immediately, the power of thunder and lightning exploded, making crackling sounds, as if countless thunder snakes were tearing at him. The protective layer of genuine qi that Xiaping had set up was immediately hit by countless ripples. The terrifying power shook, but this power could not break through his defense. Comfortable. Xiaping, on the other hand, felt extremely comfortable. These energies bombarded his body, constantly tempering his physique, stimulating the profounding pill that had not yet been refined, and even the medicinal power of the 9 Revolutions vitality-enhancing pill was completely stimulated. Whoosh, the genuine qi in his body increased rapidly, crazily filling the genuine qi in the 8th acupoint, strengthening bit by bit. If he had cultivated in seclusion, he would not have succeeded in a few months. However, with the help of the enemy's tempering, he had made rapid progress in a short period of time. In fact, Xiaping had come to challenge the major martial arts clubs not only to attract hatred, but also to use the strength of many martial arts experts to help him cultivate. Obviously, this goal had been achieved. What's going on? Why can't I break through his defense? Mu Haoran was stunned. He had used all his strength in this sword, stimulating the royal bloodline in his body, and exerting the power of thunder, which was invincible in the martial arts realm. However, he could not even break through the protective technique of the boy in front of him. He could not believe it. Oh no! At this moment, his hair stood on end as he felt a strong threat. After blocking the opponent's thunderous sword, Xiaping immediately counterattacked, punching out. The 9th move of the Myriad Beast's Fist, Dragon Tiger Seal. This was far beyond the White Crane Chop. Almost all the power of the previous 8 moves were concentrated. It could be called the strongest move of the martial arts realm, and its power was increased several times. Dragons were the strongest creatures in the sky. One roar could shatter mountains. Tigers were the strongest beasts in the world. One step of their claws could sink the land. In ancient times, these 2 races dominated the wilderness and were invincible. They represented the pinnacle of power. The Myriad Beasts Immortal observed these 2 races and created this move. This was the pinnacle of power. Once it broke out, the combination of the power of dragon and tiger would have the power to destroy everything. His left hand turned into a ferocious tiger, while his right hand turned into a violent dragon. They rotated like Tai Chi, and the power of dragon and tiger gushed out from his body. His muscles tensed up, and his clothes almost burst open. The true qi in his 8 acupoints spun crazily. The true qi seemed to form the shape of a dragon and a tiger, forming the true dragon tiger seal inside his dantian. The pattern of a true dragon appeared on his back, and the shape of a tiger appeared on his chest. His whole body's aura rose up and the ground shook. 2 huge craters appeared on the ground where his feet were standing, and all the rocks within a 1-kilometer radius were shaking. The surrounding students were all terrified to the extreme, thinking that there was a magnitude 4 or 5 earthquake. The moment this power reached its peak, Xiaping punched out. Faint roars of dragons and tigers could be heard in the void, emitting terrifying sound waves that were deafening. Dong! A punch landed solidly on Mu Haoran's body. The body-protecting cultivation technique on Mu Haoran's body was shattered by the punch, and his whole body was sent flying like a piece of trash. Boo! Mu Haoran couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood on the spot. More than a dozen of his ribs were broken. In an instant he flew hundreds of meters and smashed through the stone walls of the Kendo Club. Finally, he smashed through 5 or 6 walls before he finally stopped. His whole body was embedded in the stone wall, and the rubble rolled down. He was unable to move. Senior Mu. Seeing that Mu Haoran was sent flying by a punch and smashed into the wall, no one knew whether he was dead or alive. Suddenly, a group of students exclaimed and rushed over to rescue Mu Haoran. However, Mu Haoran had long been unconscious. No matter what others said, he couldn't respond. My God, even Mu Haoran lost? A group of people were dumbfounded. Some people shouted, simply unable to accept such a reality. Impossible, who is Mu Haoran? He is from a king family, a senior student of Yanhuang University for 3 years, and has the bloodline of Thunder Cat. He has been stuck in the 9th heaven of the martial artist realm for 3 years, and his martial arts skills have long reached the peak. Such a person in the invincible martial artist realm also lost? He was greatly shocked. Didn't you see? This kid's punch contained the strength of dragons and tigers, and the air exploded. This kind of fist technique is terrifying to the extreme. It already has the power of a martial master, and it can kill a strong enemy from a kilometer away. Monster, is this Xiaping really from Yanhuang Star? Is he really a civilian? How can his strength be so terrifying that even people from a king family are no match for him? The surrounding students were shocked again and again. They couldn't believe that Mu Haoran was defeated. If even a strong person like Mu Haoran was defeated, then how many ordinary students in the entire Yanhuang University could be his opponent? The outcome has been decided. Xiaping stood with his hands behind his back, looked at the members of the Kendo Club indifferently, and said, "You dare to provoke me, this is the result. As a punishment, I will accept the plaque of the Kendo Club as a trophy." After saying that, he wanted to take away the plaque at the door. "Stop! This is the plaque of our Kendo Club. It represents the face of the Kendo Club. How can you take it away? The Kendo Club has been founded for hundreds of years, and has been passed down from generation to generation. It has a long history. You taking away this plaque is a slap in the face of the past leaders of the Kendo Club. Are you planning to be enemies with the Kendo Club forever? Not only did you beat the president, but you also want to take away our plaque. Don't go too far, don't be too arrogant. You should know when to stop." A group of Kendo Club members shouted angrily and stared at Xiaping, as if they wanted to eat him alive. For the Kendo Club, the plaque was an honor, something more important than life. If it was taken away by Xiaping, then what face would they have left? Would their Kendo Club still be able to survive in Yanhuang University? One by one, the club members rushed up, trying to stop Xiaping's actions. "Since you all have asked, then I will say it directly." Xiaping squinted and said, "Even if I forcibly take away your Kendo Club plaque, even if I slap your Kendo Club in front of so many people, what can you do to me? Arrogant. Too arrogant." Hearing this sentence like a kitten whose tail had been stepped on, the members of the Kendo Club were all mad. They had never seen such an arrogant person in their life. Although their strength was not as good as Mu Haoran's, there were many of them. At least they were martial artists above the 7th heaven of the martial artist realm. There were many martial artists at the 9th heaven of the martial artist realm. A mouthful of saliva from each of them could drown a strong martial artist in the martial artist realm. Even Mu Haoran did not dare to face so many people clamoring. Chapter 361. Are you angry? Are you not convinced? Xiaping stood with his hands behind his back, unmoved, and did not take this group of people seriously at all. But it's useless. No matter how angry a group of ants are, humans can slap them to death with one slap, and there will be no residue left. Even Mu Haoran was beaten by me with one punch. What can you do? Don't say that I'm bullying you. I'm just standing here and letting you hit me. If you break my defense and make me take half a step back, I lose. He spoke in an infuriating tone. Ah, this kid is so annoying. I can't stand this bastard for a second. He dares to stand here and let us hit him. There's a limit to looking down on people. What are you afraid of? This kid wants to die, so let's help him. Let's do it together and beat this bastard until he's half paralyzed. One by one, the members of the Kendo Club were completely enraged. Being provoked like this, even a clay man would be angry. If they still didn't respond, then they would really be cowards. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. In just an instant, dozens of Kendo Club masters jumped out, took out their long swords and slashed at Xiaping's body, trying to cut Xiaping half to death. But the result was predictable. Xiaping ran the Dark North body protection skill, and the sword chi was blocked at once, making a banging sound, but none of the attacks could break his defense. Clatter. Suffering from these attacks, Xiaping's body immediately surged with a warm current, as if the strength of countless masters was patting on his body, helping him to temper his physique and enlightening him. Too weak, not even enough to tickle me. Xia Ping shouted. Damn, go to hell. Not enough to tickle, let's see how this move works. Vital points, attack this bastard's vital points, kick his balls, I don't believe he is really so powerful, there are no blind spots. One by one, the Kendo Club members shouted and used all kinds of tricks, trying to attack Xia Ping's vital points, find his flaws, and give him a fatal blow. But it was all useless. Dark North body protection technique is an all-round cultivation technique, tightly covering the whole body. No matter which part these people attack, it is the same. Unless his offensive power far exceeded his defensive power, he would not be able to harm Xia Ping in the slightest. It was conceivable that the members of the Kendo Club exerted all their strength, operated the true chi in their bodies, and bombarded Xia Ping crazily, but to no avail. Instead, all of them were lying on the ground in exhaustion. The true chi in their bodies was quickly exhausted, and their faces were deathly pale. It was as if they had been raped for 3 days and 3 nights by a woman who weighed more than 300 kilograms. What's wrong? He had only been fighting for a short while and he was already out of strength. Did the members of the Kendo Club not eat? Or is this how you guys usually train, drawing nets for 3 days and fishing for 2 days? Xia Ping felt that the effects of tempering the body had decreased significantly. He cried out in dissatisfaction. No wonder you are unable to break through to the martial master realm after staying in Yanhuang University for a few years. You are all so unambitious. You are a disgrace to the students of Yanhuang University. Do you know that even your parents are embarrassed for you? You. Damn you, Xia Ping, I'm going to kill you. It's none of your mother's business whether you are promoted to the martial master realm or not. Blushing my ass. What do you know? Do you know how hard I work in my cultivation? Hearing these words, the members of the Kendo Club gritted their teeth and were so angry that smoke was coming out of their heads. There was no doubt that after years of training, they still could not break through to the martial master realm and become an elite member. This was a pain in their hearts. Usually no one dared to expose this scar, but now Xia Ping had blatantly said it. One could imagine how aggrieved they were, and they even wanted to kill Xia Ping. Bang bang bang. A group of Kendo Club members used the last of their strength to desperately attack Xia Ping, like the warriors of Wolf Ivory Mountain who were ready to die. However, the difference in strength was too great and their attacks had no effect. An hour later, all the members of the Kendo Club fell to the ground. They were like dogs, panting and sweating, and they did not even have the strength to get up. They were extremely aggrieved. This guy was simply a monster. They kept attacking Xia Ping, but they could not defeat him. Instead, they were exhausted. Seems that this is all you can do. In this case, I'll take the plaque away. Xia Ping felt comfortable all over, as if he had entered a sauna and was massaged. His muscles and bones were extremely comfortable. He also knew that this group of Kendo Club members had no strength left, and it was useless to continue to stimulate them. With a swoosh, he jumped lightly and immediately took down the plaque of the Kendo Club. No, stop immediately. If you dare to take away the plaque of the Kendo Club, you will be the enemy of the Kendo Club. All the seniors from the Kendo Club will not let you go. You will become the target of public criticism. You are the target of public criticism, do you know that? One by one, the members of the Kendo Club shouted desperately, and their eyes were wide open. They could imagine how terrible it would be if the plaque of their Kendo Club was taken away. It was estimated that the seniors of the Kendo Club would be furious, and they would also be severely scolded and punished. More importantly, they would become the laughingstock of many Yanhuang University martial arts clubs. They would never see the light of day. However, they did not even have the strength to stand up and stop Xia Ping. They could only watch Xia Ping take away the plaque of the Kendo Club, which made them even more indignant. It's none of my business. If you have the guts, ask them to bite me. Xia Ping looked disdainfully at the whining of this group of homeless dogs. He carried the plaque of the Kendo Club, patted his buttocks and swaggered away. He did not care about these people's so-called threats. Damn it, Xia Ping, our Kendo Club is absolutely irreconcilable with you. Oh, ancestors of the Kendo Club, we are sorry and have shamed your reputation. Shame, this is a great shame. The plaque has been forcibly taken away. How can we face the seniors of the Kendo Club? How can we face their questions? The reputation of the Kendo Club for hundreds of years has been ruined in our hands. Shameless Xiaoping, just you wait. Sooner or later you will be out of luck. You won't be proud for a lifetime. Just wait and see. Heavens! Strike him to death. Send down a bolt of lightning and strike him to death. Such a person is so shameless. One by one, the members of the Kendo Club were going crazy. They were so angry that smoke was coming out of their heads. Some even directly fainted on the ground. The others struggled to chase after him, but fell down after a few steps. Each and every one of them stared wide-eyed at Xiaoping as he left leisurely. The big Kendo Club had actually allowed this bastard to enter, as if there was no one there. Chapter 362. At this time in a dojo of Yanhuang University, a golden plaque was placed at the entrance. 3 words were written on it. Saber Dao Club. The words were written in a serpentine style, exuding a domineering aura. At this time, a group of Saber Dao Club members gathered inside the door. Have you received the news? The cowardly Xiaoping from before suddenly appeared. I've heard about it for a long time. How could I not have heard the news? Basically, the entire Yanhuang University knows about it. That kid is really bold. He went over and defeated the entire Saber Dao Club alone. Even the president of the Saber Dao Club was sent to the hospital by that kid. I wonder if he can be cured. That Xiaoping is so domineering. He even dared to challenge the Saber Dao Club alone? Those Saber Dao Club members are also idiots. That kid came looking for trouble. How could he fight alone? He should have looked for people to pile on him. They have already piled on him. It's useless. He even stood where he was and let you hit him. Instead, he was exhausted. In the end, Xiaoping was still full of energy. He even fought back. As a result, the group of Saber Dao Club members were beaten until they screamed. It is said that their screams could be heard from 3 kilometers away. Isn't that so? The worst thing is that even the Saber Dao Club's plaque was taken away. They lost all their face. That kid didn't give the Saber Dao Club any face at all. It hurts just listening to it. The dignified Saber Dao Club was actually defeated by a freshman. Even the president was sent to the hospital. The reputation of the Saber Dao Club that has been built for hundreds of years was destroyed. I don't know what Mu Haoran is feeling now. I guess he even wants to kill that kid. I didn't expect that kid to be so strong. He could actually defeat the Saber Dao Club. It's terrifying to the extreme. It is said that during those 3 days, he was not avoiding battles. He was just at a critical juncture of cultivation. His goal was to break through to the 8th heaven of martial artist. In the end, he succeeded. Therefore, he challenged the Saber Dao Club and beat them until even their own mothers couldn't recognize them. What a terrifying freshman. I heard that he was only a 5th heaven of martial artists when he just entered Yanhuang University. In such a short time, he advanced to the 3rd heaven. Otherwise, why would people say that he is a monster? The speed of improvement is like flying a spaceship. The members of the Saber Dao Club were in a heated discussion. They were all shocked by the news that Xiaoping had single-handedly challenged the Kendo Club. They would never have thought that the freshman they had looked down upon would be so fierce. The Kendo Club could not find a single person to deal with him. Instead, a group of Kendo Club members were beaten to a pulp, and even their plaque was taken away. Do you think that kid will come to our Saber Dao Club next time since he challenged the Kendo Club? A member of the Saber Dao Club suddenly said. He also remembered that his own Saber Dao Club had also criticized him on the forum. The words they used were no less vicious than those of the Kendo Club, especially their president, Zhu Zijian, who scolded him so harshly, as if he had some grudge against Xiaoping. Hearing this, Zhu Zijian's face turned a little green. He had also thought of this. Since Xiaoping was so cruel, he would not be satisfied with just dealing with the Kendo Club. Maybe he would also deal with the Saber Club. To be honest, although he was very confident in his own strength, he didn't think that he could defeat Mu Haoran. Their strength should be on par. Since Xiaoping could easily defeat Mu Haoran, it would probably not be difficult for him to defeat himself. Kill him if he comes. What's there to be afraid of? Do you think our Saber Dao Club is a pushover that Xiaoping can bully at will? Are you kidding me? A member of the Saber Dao Club saw that his president's face was showing signs of turning green. He immediately jumped out and yelled, saying that the Saber Dao Club was not afraid of Xiaoping at all. That's right. Everyone in our Saber Dao Club is good at wielding sabers. All of us are fierce and born with divine strength. How can those sissy swordsmen compare to us? If that kid dares to come, we'll kill him. That's right. I'm not bragging. Everyone in our Saber Dao Club is an elite, and we have twice the number of people in the Kendo Club. We can kill him with just a mouthful of saliva from each of us. There's no room for negotiation. That's right. We have so many people. How can those useless people in the Kendo Club compare to us? If Xiaoping knows what's good for him, he won't foolishly come to the Saber Dao Club to court death. Otherwise, we'll let him know why the flowers are so red. The members of the Saber Dao Club shouted aggressively. However, if one listened carefully, one could tell that they were more or less lacking in confidence. They specifically emphasized the word, many people. After all, the strength of the Kendo Club and the Saber Dao Club was actually about the same. If Xiaoping could destroy the Kendo Club alone, it would not be a problem for him to destroy the Saber Dao Club. Even though they had the advantage of numbers, they still felt a little guilty. Guild leader, something bad has happened. Xiaoping is here. At this moment, a student ran in frantically, shouting desperately with a panicked look on his face. What? Xiaoping is here. Bastard, that god of plague is here. How dare he come? Everyone get your weapons. Get your weapons now. All of a sudden, the group of people was shocked and shouted like birds startled by the mere twang of a bow. Bang! Suddenly the door was smashed by a punch, and a huge hole appeared. Broken wood flew everywhere and smoke billowed. A figure walked out from the outside. It was Xiaoping. Someone looked over and saw more than a dozen members of the Saber Dao Club lying on the ground. They had been badly beaten and were wailing on the ground. Their faces were swollen like bread, and they were foaming from time to time. The faces of the Saber Dao Club members turned pale. Speak of the devil. After this bastard picked on the Kendo Club, it was their turn next. He did not even give them any time to digest what had happened. It was too sudden. At this moment, the president of the Saber Dao Club, Zhu Zijian, immediately stood up and shouted angrily at Xiaoping, Xiaoping, what are you doing in the Saber Dao Club? How dare you hurt members of the Saber Dao Club? Do you know that this is against the school rules? If you leave now, I can still forgive you. Otherwise, I'll report you to the Academic Affairs Office. You'll have to bear the consequences, understand? He said sternly, trying to intimidate Xiaoping. I'm just here to spar. Xiaoping clenched his fists and cracked them. Isn't the so-called martial arts club just a place where students can fight legally? Even if you report it to the Academic Affairs Office, no one will care. Come on, didn't you want a fair fight with me? I'll grant you your wish now. Let's see what the so-called Saber Dao Club is capable of. They dare to act so arrogantly in front of me. He stared at the president of the Saber Dao Club, Zhu Zijian, and exuded a terrifying aura. He was alone, but he exuded the aura of a powerful army, suppressing the entire Saber Dao Club. Chapter 363. So be it. What you're doing is clearly challenging the club and committing murder. Zhu Zijian said angrily, how can anyone be like you? Injuring more than a dozen gatekeepers the moment you arrived and charging at us unscrupulously. Is there a challenger like you? Apologize to me immediately. Otherwise, I will never forgive you. He cursed and tried to use morality to restrain Xiaoping. Are you afraid? Xiaoping looked up at the sky and let out a long sigh. I'm so disappointed. I thought that everyone who joined the Saber Dao Club would be brave and unafraid of anything. But what do I see now? Cowardly, timid, and no different from a coward. They don't even have the courage to fight me. They're even worse than the Kendo Club. Even if the Kendo Club failed and was completely wiped out, at least they fought to the end and were considered heroes. But what about you guys? You don't even have the courage to fight. How can people like you learn the saber? He looked at them with disdain. What did you say? Zhu Zijian and the others stared at Xiaoping angrily. Anger was brewing, and they felt as if Xiaoping had slapped them hard in the face. Xiaoping stood with his hands behind his back. Am I wrong? A true master of the saber would rather break than bend. They are unstoppable and have an unparalleled aura that can kill all enemies. Look at you guys now. You don't even have the courage to learn the saber. You guys are completely useless. Go back to your fields. Fine, I won't trouble you guys today, lest others laugh at me for bullying cowards. He wanted to turn around and leave after he finished speaking. Stop right there. Zhu Zijian stepped forward and yelled angrily to stop Xiaoping from leaving. You want to leave after saying that? Do you think it's that easy? He stared at Xiaoping angrily and felt like his lungs were about to explode. That's right. Take back what you said just now. How dare you say that we're worse than the sissies of the Kendo Club? Shut your damn mouth right now. You said that we're not good enough to learn the saber. What do you know? Many members of the Saber Dao Society were going crazy. If they allowed Xiaoping to leave today, this blabbermouth might start spreading rumors that the members of the Saber Dao Society were afraid of fighting him, which was why they threatened him. At that time, what would the other people in Yanhuang University think? He was clearly a Sword Dao powerhouse, but he did not even have the courage to fight Xiaoping. What future did such a person have? He might as well go home and plant sweet potatoes. Even though the Kendo Club had failed and their plaque had been snatched away, they still fought to the end. The gap between the Saber Dao Club and the Saber Dao Club was obvious. Therefore, it was impossible for them to let Xiaoping go. Not satisfied. Come and die. Xiaoping stood with his hands behind his back and said indifferently, Submit your sister. Everyone, let's attack together and kill this idiot. How dare you barge into my Saber Dao Society? You're courting death. Hack him to death. Don't hold back. I'll pay for his medical fees. All the members of the Saber Dao Society were clamoring. Their anger was at its peak. With a clang, they pulled out their broadswords and slashed at Xiaoping. Saber chi filled the air. The first to attack was Zhu Zijian. His attack was earth-shattering. Terrifying saber chi erupted as if a raging bull had appeared behind him, shaking the mountains and earth. His strength was no weaker than Mu Haoran's. Because Zhu Zijian was also a direct descendant of a king family, he had the bloodline of a raging bull, and was born with divine strength. With a slash of his saber, he could split a boulder weighing hundreds of tons in half. He could even crack the ground a kilometer long. How could the attack of such a powerhouse be insignificant? Xiaoping's eyes lit up. He took a step forward and the entire ground shook. His aura rose as if a Vajra Buddha had descended with unparalleled strength. Golden light surged from his body, making him look extremely sacred. Immovable Buddha's palm. With a slap of his palm, the air rumbled. His palm was covered in golden light as if it was made of gold. After advancing to Fighter 8 Firmament, his attack power was more than twice as strong as before. This slap was like a golden palm branding the air. Every line on the palm condensed into a substance, as if Buddha was chanting and had the power to subdue demons. Bang! 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 A slap landed in front of Zhu Zijian. The saber chi was immediately shattered into pieces, breaking inch by inch. A terrifying vibration came from the air as the force penetrated through. Zhu Zijian couldn't withstand Xiaoping's full-powered slap at all. He was sent flying and the broadsword in his hand was sent flying by this flood-like force. His hand was numb. With a thud, his body smashed into the wall in the distance after flying for more than 100 meters. A human-shaped hole was formed as rubble flew in all directions. Are you kidding me? The members of the Saber Dao Club were stunned. They already knew that Xiaoping, who had swept the Saber Dao Club, was very ferocious. He defeated Mu Haoran, who was known to be invincible in the fighter realm, with just a simple move. However, they did not expect that Xiaoping would actually send Zhu Zijian, who was almost invincible in their eyes, flying with just one palm strike. As if he was swatting a fly, Zhu Zijian slammed into the wall, unable to get out. I can't accept this. I can't accept this. Zhu Zijian was going crazy. He was on the verge of a mental breakdown. Facing a freshman who was a level higher than him, he couldn't even withstand a single move and was sent flying with a slap. He was seriously injured. If he was really that weak, Then what was the point of all the hard work he had put in to suppress his Fighter 9 firmament cultivation and not entering the martial master realm? Wasn't that mocking him for doing useless work for the past 3 years? He couldn't accept such an outcome at all. Noisy. Xiaoping cast a sidelong glance at Zhu Zijian and sent out a palm strike in the air. With a boom, the terrifying palm print slammed into Zhu Zijian's body from hundreds of meters away, instantly knocking him out completely and making him unable to say anything. Damn it. Let's go. Let's kill him together. Avenge the president. Kill this bastard. The members of the Saber Dao Club were all going crazy. This kid didn't even let go of the injured and completely knocked him out. He even did it in front of them. He was looking down on them. They were all going crazy. They rushed forward and formed a saber formation, seemingly besieging Xiaoping. Stupid. Xiaoping was like a tiger in a flock of sheep. He was not afraid of the saber techniques of the members of the Saber Dao Club at all. Relying on his powerful protective technique, he took on their saber aura head-on. Every punch and kick was like a terrifying weapon. Along the way, the members of the Saber Dao Club were punched one by one. They were all sent flying as if they were being trampled by elephants. They smashed into the wall and like Zhu Zijian passed out and lost the ability to fight. Chapter 364. I'm taking this plaque away. You guys don't have to give it to me. With a swoosh, Xiaoping leaped up and took the Saber Dao Society plaque from the entrance. Stop it right now. This plaque is a treasure passed down from the first generation of the Saber Dao Society. How dare you take it away? If you dare to take it away, the Saber Dao Society will fight to the death with you. Seeing this, other than those who were knocked out, the other members of the Saber Dao Society shouted angrily. Their eyes were wide open, and they wanted to eat Xiaoping alive. The Saber Dao Society plaque was left behind by the first president and had been passed down from generation to generation. It had a history of hundreds of years and had gone through many trials and tribulations. It could be said that this plaque was a testament to the glory of the Saber Dao Society from generation to generation. Since the establishment of the society, it had never been taken down. It was a historical relic that represented honor. Any member of the Saber Dao Society would take pride in this plaque, which was similar to an ancestral memorial. However, it had been taken away by this brat without any scruples. This was like a few tight slaps to their faces and a few mouthfuls of phlegm. They had lost all dignity. Fight to the death? Hearing this, Xiaoping narrowed his eyes, revealing a dangerous glint as he stared at the members of the Saber Dao Society. Interesting. Since it's a fight to the death, why don't I just cripple all of you? It's not a bad idea to become eunuchs for the rest of your lives. He exuded a murderous aura. In an instant, everyone present was scared out of their wits. They could clearly sense the terrifying murderous aura exuding from Xiaoping, especially towards certain parts of their bodies. They immediately knew that this bastard was definitely not joking. If he continued to provoke them, they were afraid that certain parts of their bodies would be severely injured. I'm sorry, big brother. We were actually just shooting our mouths off. We're just bragging here. One of the students stuttered. He was so scared that his body started trembling. Yeah, it's just a stupid plaque. Big brother, you can take it away if you want. That's right. It's not easy for Big Brother to come to the Saber Dao Society. It's only right for you to take a plaque back as a gift. Don't worry, I've knocked out the guy who talked nonsense just now. He has some problems with his IQ and likes to spout nonsense. I hope Big Brother doesn't mind. If Big Brother still cares, we can still beat him up and let Big Brother vent his anger. We are all innocent, please don't implicate us. The members of the Saber Dao Club were scared to death. Trembling all over, they lowered their heads and apologized. If Xiaoping really flipped out, they would probably be miserable. They would all become cripples and eunuchs. Even if this bastard would be held accountable afterwards, it would be useless. After all, they had all become eunuchs, which was a fate worse than death. What was the point of pursuing that bastard's responsibility? Would it bring back the most important thing in their lives? Therefore, all of them were terrified and didn't dare to say any more harsh words. They lowered their heads and apologized. Alright, I'll let you go this time. Remember to be more careful next time. Seeing the attitude of these people, Xiaoping felt very satisfied. After teaching them a lesson, he carried the plaque and swaggered away. At this moment no one dared to stop them, or rather even if they wanted to, they didn't have the strength to. In the blink of an eye, Xiaoping left the Saber Dao Club. Seeing that Xiaoping's figure had completely disappeared from their sight, the members of the Saber Dao Club were all furious and finally dared to speak loudly. That's too much. That bastard is really too much. The stuttering student immediately cursed with a face full of grief and indignation. His face was swollen and looked like a pig's head after being beaten by Xiaoping. It would probably take a few days for the swelling to subside. Not only did he beat people up in our Saber Dao Club, he even took our plaque away. That's too much. Another student grimaced in agitation. The wounds on his body split open and blood flowed out, causing him to scream in pain. He beat us up and even slapped our faces. He's shameless to the extreme. He's trying to make our Saber Dao Club a death grudge. Sob sob, we've let down the seniors of the Saber Dao Club. Hundreds of years of reputation has been destroyed in our hands. It's over, it's completely over. We've lost all our dignity. How will the other students of Yanhuang University look at us in the future? I swear I'm not human if I don't get my revenge. Everyone in the Saber Dao Club was filled with grief and indignation. They gritted their teeth in anger and wanted nothing more than to tear Xiaoping into pieces. Such humiliation was simply unheard of. Some of them even shed tears, wailing and wailing bitterly. But that kid is too terrifying. Even our president, Zhu Zijian, and even the president of the Saber Dao Club, Mu Haoran, were no match for him. He beat them up like dogs with just a few moves. Who else among the ordinary students of Yanhuang University can be a match for him? Some students gritted their teeth in grief and indignation, but there was nothing they could do. Indeed, that bastard is too strong. He has already advanced to the 8th level of fighter. He's a monster. He's just a freshman, but he already has such terrifying strength. Even our Saber Dao Club is no match for him. I guess there aren't many ordinary students in Yanhuang University who can control this bastard. Say, even our Saber Dao Club has been defeated. What about the other clubs? That's right. Our Saber Dao Club isn't the only club in the entire Yanhuang University that attacked him. The other clubs are also involved. Is this kid going to wipe out all the clubs in Yanhuang University? He's going to wipe out Yanhuang University all by himself? That's no joke. I have to say, he really has the strength to do so. Many members of the Saber Dao Club discussed among themselves. They could see the shock in each other's eyes. If Xiaoping really wiped out all the martial arts clubs in Yanhuang University, he would probably set an unprecedented record. Such a thing had never happened in the hundreds of years since the founding of Yanhuang University. However, there were also some who were looking forward to it. If only their Saber Dao Club and Saber Dao Club were unlucky, they would definitely become a laughingstock. It would be a shame that they would never be able to erase for the rest of their lives. However, if all the clubs were defeated by this bastard, it probably wouldn't cause much of an impact if their Saber Dao Club was wiped out by him alone. Of course, they would never say such a shameful thought out loud even if they were beaten to death. However, the thoughts of the members of the Saber Dao Club were correct. Xiaoping had the idea of wiping out all the martial arts clubs in Yanhuang University. He would personally go to those who dissed him on the forum to demand an explanation. Chapter 365. The next day, the news that Saber Dao Club and Sword Dao Club were destroyed by Xiaoping spread throughout Yanhuang University. All the students were in an uproar. Xiaoping ignored everything around him. This was just the beginning. He went to visit each major club one by one. Damn it, he's coming. That bastard Xiaoping is really coming. Damn bastard, he destroyed Sword Dao Club and Saber Dao Club. And now he wants to make trouble in our Hidden Weapon Club. Let's go together. We don't need to be polite to such a hooligan. Find someone to kill him. I don't believe this guy has 3 heads and 6 arms. Everyone do your best. Our Hidden Weapon Club is not as useless as Sword Dao Club and Saber Dao Club. It will not be so easy to be wiped out, and the plaque will not be taken away. The members of the Hidden Weapon Club shouted, and all of them were filled with righteous indignation, staring angrily at Xiaoping, who came to the door. Sword Dao Club and Saber Dao Club also boasted like this, but you know what happened? Xiaoping stood with his hands behind his back. Surrender, kowtow, and admit your mistakes, and I will spare you once. Spare my ass. Our Hidden Weapon Club also needs your mercy. Xia thief, go to hell. Attack his lower body and break his balls. The members of the Hidden Weapon Club were furious and immediately threw their hidden weapons to bombard Xiaoping. But they were all blocked by Xiaoping's Dark North body protection technique and turned into a pile of scrap iron. You don't know how to appreciate favors. Xiaoping rushed up and used his fists and feet like a human-shaped Tyrannosaurus. In just half an hour, all the members of the Hidden Weapon Club were beaten to the ground, and the president of the Hidden Weapon Club wanted to run away with the plaque, but he was knocked out by Xiaoping with a brick in the first place. I'll take this plaque away. If you have the ability, you can challenge me to get it back. Xiaoping also took away the plaque of the Hidden Weapon Club. Ah, Xia thief, we will not live under the same sky with you. God, please strike him to death. Why didn't God strike him to death? He won't be arrogant for long. He will definitely kick the iron plate. That's right. That bastard will suffer sooner or later. Let's see how long he can be happy for. The members of the Concealed Weapons Society fell to the ground one by one, howling in agony. They were all extremely aggrieved. Each and every one of them exerted all their skills, but still could not do anything to Xiaoping. Instead, they were beaten up violently. One could imagine the anger in their hearts. However, there was nothing that could be done. The difference in strength between the two sides was too great. Xiaoping didn't care about the Hidden Weapon Society's feelings. He challenged the societies one by one. It's over, it's over. That demon Xiaoping has come to our Fist Arts Club. Damn it. Does this bastard really want to flatten all the martial arts clubs in Yanhuang University? He's too arrogant. Does he really think that we, the members of the society, are made of mud? Being bullied like this, even a Buddha would get angry. Everyone, let's fight it out with him. Don't brag here. He's already at our doorstep. Dozens of our brothers are lying on the ground, wailing in pain. We'd better take the plaque and run. Otherwise, we'll definitely be humiliated by him. That's right, that bastard is simply a monster. Even big clubs like the Saber Arts Club and the Sword Arts Club were flattened by him. Small clubs like ours are simply vulnerable. All the members of the Fist Arts Club were terrified. They had received news that Xiaoping was planning to challenge their Fist Arts Club. With a bang, the door of the Fist Arts Club was smashed into pieces by a punch. Xiaoping walked in directly and scrupulously. He had already treated the Fist Arts Club as his own territory, as if he had entered an uninhabited land. I heard that the Fist Arts Club has gathered all the fist arts experts in Yanhuang University, and they are proficient in the fist arts of Yanhuang Planet for thousands of years. This time I'm here to learn from them. Who wants to die? Xiaoping, like a grandmaster, arrived in front of a group of Fist Arts Club members. Like a mountain, he pressed down on the hearts of many students, exuding a terrifying aura. Everyone, don't be afraid of him. In fact, he's already an arrow at the end of its flight. That's right. He has already challenged 7 or 8 martial arts clubs. His strength has long been exhausted. He's just putting on a brave front now. Let's attack together. 2 fists can't defeat 4 hands. He's just one person. We can drown him with our saliva each. Random punches can kill an old master. Let's all rush up and take this kid down. The members of the Fist Arts Club shouted and rushed up, wanting to surround Xiaoping. Bang bang bang. Xiaoping turned into a beast in human form. Every move he made contained great power, producing unparalleled destructive power. All the students who came into contact with Xiaoping's fists and feet were sent flying. They either had broken hands, legs, arms, or legs. In short, they fell to the ground and wailed, as if they had been sent to a disabled hospital. Too weak. Xiaoping stood with his hands behind his back. He looked at the group of Fist Arts Club members, shook his head and sighed. Don't practice fist arts in the future. It's too embarrassing. Your fists can't kill people at all. They can only tickle. You. The members of the Fist Arts Club were furious. They were all experts who had been practicing fist arts for more than 10 years. They had already cultivated the basic fist arts to the acme of perfection. Even if they were to advance to the martial master realm, there was still hope for them to reach the grandmaster realm. However, this bastard dared to say that their fists could not kill people and could only tickle them. This was too much. He was looking down on them. However, they had nothing to say. They did not even have the strength to refute. The strongest member of the Fist Arts Club, the president of the Fist Arts Club, was sent flying with a punch. All the bones in his body were broken, and he was moaning on the ground. There was not a single expert in the entire Fist Arts Club who could compete with Xia Ping. Remember, if you see me in Yanhuang University in the future, take a detour and stay away from me. Otherwise, I'll beat you up every time I see you. Just treat it as teaching you some manners. Xia Ping said carelessly, I'm taking this Fist Arts Club's plaque. If you're not happy, feel free to come and find me. I'll even let you use only one hand. After saying that, he took the Fist Arts Club's plaque and left. On the third day, Xia Ping challenged martial arts clubs everywhere. Almost everyone knew about it. Xia Ping is here. That devil Xia Ping is here. It can't be. What's going on? We didn't offend that bastard at all. Why would he come and find trouble with us? That's right. We're just a small club. We didn't even fight him. What gives him the right to come here and bully us? That bastard said that our club was near the Hidden Weapons Club. It was on the way, so he beat us up along the way. He beat us up just because it was on the way? This is too much. He's going too far. He's going too far. He's clearly acting like a tyrant here. He's clearly bullying people. When there's no tiger in the mountains, the monkeys call themselves kings. With such a villain running amok in Yanhuang University, do we still have a good life? Do we still have a future? A member of a small martial arts club also shouted angrily. Their club was located in a remote area with less than 100 members. However, they were still found by Xia Ping and challenged. The result was predictable. No matter how indignant they were still beaten up by Xia Ping. In addition, Xia Ping also went to the Gun Arts Club, Stick Arts Club, Kick Arts Club, Qinggong Arts Club, and other large martial arts clubs. Within a day, he uprooted 10 clubs and sent all of them to the hospital. In particular, those martial arts clubs that had mentioned on the forum that they wanted to fight with Xia Ping and said that Xia Ping was no match for them were the most miserable. Their boss was beaten until half of his body was paralyzed. Even their members were so miserable that they needed plastic surgery. In just 3 weeks, Xia Ping visited hundreds of martial arts clubs in Yanhuang University, big and small. He challenged them one by one and took all the plaques of these martial arts clubs as trophies. Chapter 366. During these 3 weeks, the school forum was also turbulent, and many students were paying attention to this battle. Amazing! This Xia Ping is simply invincible. Hundreds of clubs, were all defeated by him in 3 weeks, and no one was left. Those senior students claimed to be invincible warriors, endured for 3 years, and did not advance. They also have the bloodline of a king. They boasted a lot, but they were beaten by Xia Ping and are lying in the hospital wailing. Isn't it? Now the hospital is overcrowded, and there are hardly any beds. There were a few senior students who bragged before, but now I don't know where they are. Now who dares to say that Xia Ping is a fake, and who dares to clamor in his face? Come out and take a few steps if you have the guts. If I don't speak first in spring, who dares to make a sound? On the forum, many students were talking about it, and they were completely shocked by Xia Ping's record. In 3 consecutive weeks, hundreds of clubs were defeated by Xia Ping, and he was invincible all over the world. Such a battle record was simply unprecedented and unheard of. Even if some people could challenge a club alone, no one could challenge hundreds of clubs in a row without even taking a breather. They could not support it for a long time due to the consumption of true qi alone. The problem was that Xia Ping was simply a monster. After fighting for so long, he had never been exhausted. Keep shouting, keep shouting. Aren't those Cloud Realm students very powerful? Call a few students out to fight with Xia Ping, and see who is the #1 master of Yanhuang University. At this time, a student from Yanhuang Star jumped out and mocked a group of students on the forum. Before, they were full of anger. They were ridiculed by those Cloud Realm students, and they could not lift their heads. They were beaten black and blue, and their hearts were full of grievances. Now the entire Yanhuang University and hundreds of martial arts clubs were beaten by Xiaoping like cowards. If they didn't show off now, when would they get the chance to show off? One-on-one fart, a group of people were beaten to the ground by Xiaoping, crying for their parents, asking them to come out and fight him alone. This is a bit embarrassing. Immediately, a student of Yanhuang Star shouted. His face was full of pride. As a student from Yanhuang Planet, he felt honored. Anyway, in the martial arts club of Yanhuang University, the main force was basically from the Sky Realm. Students from Yanhuang Planet like him were basically not valued and could not occupy a high position. Now that he saw that group of people suffering misfortune, he felt extremely comfortable. I'm afraid only elite students can compete with Xiaoping. The problem is that if an elite student were to make a move, it would clearly be bullying the weak. The school would definitely not allow it. That's why Xiaoping is invincible. He flattened the entire Yanhuang University all by himself. If this isn't invincible, then what is? Those students who were born in the Cloud Realm were still bragging that Xiaoping would definitely kick an iron plate. However, after wiping out the entire Yanhuang University club, I don't see any iron plate appearing. Maybe he hasn't been born yet. After a few hundred years, I'm afraid he will be able to kick the so-called iron plate. Many students from Yanhuang Planet sneered and ridiculed him on the forum, as if they had won a big battle. It was simply exhilarating. What are you showing off for? It's not like you defeated many martial arts clubs of Yanhuang University. All of you are like Xiaoping's sons. If you are so powerful, why don't you recognize your father and see if he knows you? A student from the Cloud Realm went crazy and couldn't help but mock. That's right, all of you are pretending to be powerful. Do you think that with a freak like Xiaoping the level of Yanhuang Planet is high? Don't joke around. Don't you know that you are all people who pull down the average line? Have some self-awareness. I think this is too exaggerated. In just 3 weeks, hundreds of clubs have been defeated by Xiaoping. I don't know how many students have been beaten by this bastard Xiaoping. Are the school leaders all eating shit? No one cares about this bastard's evil deeds. That's right, so many people were beaten. It's definitely a malicious attack. Call the police and arrest him. He will immediately be sentenced to more than 3 years in prison. The police haven't arrested him for so long. I don't know how much money has been given to the school leaders to help him suppress this matter. I heard that this bastard has a criminal record. He molested Suji and the others before. That guy wants to solve this matter with money. Damn it, then why are we still studying at the university? The dignified Yanhuang University has fallen to this point and was bought with money. Is there still a day for us? Let's immediately march to condemn Xiaoping's atrocities and drive him out of Yanhuang University. Yes, if this continues, Yanhuang University will never have a peaceful day. Many students from the Cloud Realm shouted, and the crowd was surging. Some sinister people also called on the forum. Since they couldn't defeat the murderer, they could use the power of the school to drive Xiaoping away and drive away that pest. Catch my ass. Someone sneered. This is an open and above-board challenge. Even the school recognizes this battle. Otherwise, the school would have sent teachers to stop it. Why would it wait until now? All of you are not strong enough. You only know how to stir up trouble and play some tricks. The more you do this, the more we look down on you. We think you are a group of people who can't afford to lose. What? Hearing these words, the group of people went crazy. Their faces turned red. But they also had to admit that if this matter wasn't within the school rules, Xiaoping would have been arrested long ago. Why would it wait until now? Even if they really went to cause trouble, they wouldn't be able to do anything to Xiaoping. But thinking of this, they were even more sullen. They were simply helpless. And this matter was not only fermented on the forum. Many people around Yanhuang University were discussing this matter. Especially Suji and the group of women. All of them wanted Xiaoping to be unlucky. But now that this happened, it could be imagined how depressed they were. Damn it, it's really too damn. A girl gritted her teeth. How did that group of senior students cultivate? It's simply a waste of several years of cultivation. So many people together can't beat Xiaoping. Instead, they were swept away and made him famous. Isn't it? These days, whenever I hear the name Hooligan Xia, I get angry. He's clearly just a pervert, but he actually has such a great reputation. He even made a name for himself. If this continues, how are we going to take revenge? Is there no one to take care of Hooligan Xia? The group of women was angry and incomparably sullen. The more famous Xia Ping was, the more resentful they became. Chapter 367. In a training hall of Yanhuang University, Xiaoyixuan was currently cultivating in the training hall. Every punch and kick he executed contained extremely powerful might, creating air explosions that possessed unparalleled destructive power. Xia Ping. He had also heard all kinds of rumors about Xia Ping. His eyes showed a trace of coldness. Although he was very unwilling, he also admitted that he could not do such a thing with his strength. In other words, his current strength was far inferior to Xia Ping. But it was precisely because of this that Xiaoyixuan was even more angry. He was a direct descendant of the Xiao family. He was extremely talented and had been a genius since he was a child. If he got second place, no one could get first place. Now he was actually surpassed and stepped on his head. Moreover, the strength difference between him and the other party was extremely huge. This kind of anger was simply indescribable. I will definitely defeat you. Xiaoyixuan gritted his teeth, and the momentum of his body became even more terrifying. The whole earth seemed to be shaking, and there was a roar of punches and kicks in the training hall. Even 2 or 3 kilometers away it could be heard. However, Xia Ping's actions may make some people very angry, but for Mu Banqing and other people from Yanhuang Star, it was great news and exciting. Brother Xia is really too powerful. Roddy couldn't help but sigh. I thought Brother Xia was a little troublesome this time. Being targeted by so many martial arts clubs, he was likely to be driven out of the school. I didn't expect Brother Xia's ferocity to be beyond my imagination. Not to mention the husky, he directly destroyed all the major martial arts clubs and beat them into a mess. He sighed again and again, feeling very shocked by this matter. Isn't it? When I heard this news, I didn't believe it at all. I thought some guy was bragging. Yes, Brother Xia's strength is beyond our imagination. I thought I could catch up with Brother Xia a little, but now it seems that I can't even see his footsteps. The speed of his progress is really amazing. It is said that Brother Xia is now in the 8th heaven of martial artist realm. It's hard to imagine that not long ago, Brother Xia's strength was on par with ours, but in the blink of an eye, he far surpassed us. It's too terrifying. But in this way, I'm afraid those martial arts clubs will no longer dare to target Brother Xia. How could I dare? Aren't you afraid that I'll come knocking on your door again and humiliate you? Shifei, Lu Chong, and the others were also discussing. Although they already knew that Xia Ping was not a simple martial artist and was simply a monster, this matter still exceeded their imagination. He had single-handedly destroyed all the major martial arts clubs. Was this something an ordinary person could do? Not to mention doing such a thing even before this, none of them had such thoughts. However, Xia Ping had done it. One by one, the martial arts clubs of Yanhuang University were suppressed. We must also work hard, otherwise we will definitely drag Big Brother Xia down and lose face for Yanhuang planet. Mu Banqing clenched his fists, and his fighting spirit was burning. After coming to Yanhuang University, his aptitude was no longer invincible. There were experts with royal bloodlines everywhere, and there were geniuses everywhere. There was no way he could be arrogant. Even compared with those real royal families, the Mu family had declined and could not be compared at all, which put great pressure on Mu Banqing. But after seeing what Xia Ping did, Mu Banqing also had an endless competitive mentality. Since Xia Ping, who was also from Yanhuang planet, could do this kind of thing, he naturally did not want to lag behind. Within 3 weeks he will destroy hundreds of martial arts clubs. The president of the club, who claimed to be invincible, was beaten like a dead dog and sent to the hospital. Many martial artists joined forces, but they were easily defeated, and there were wails everywhere. The terminator of martial arts clubs, the dark cloud hanging over Yanhuang University, the loathsome devil, is indisputably ranked as the most hated person in Yanhuang University. Such a person is called Xia Ping. Jiang Yaru, Nangongwu and Chu Rong saw the messages posted on the forum. They naturally knew about this matter, and all of them were extremely emotional. What Xia Ping had done was beyond their imagination. Once upon a time, a student from an ordinary Yanhuang planet city, ordinary and unknown, had become famous throughout Yanhuang University. No one could ignore this kind of strength. Even if he was suppressed by many martial arts clubs, it could not stop the light on him. As long as it was Cone Nail, no matter what kind of bag she was in, she would stand out. But they were also very unwilling in their hearts. Since Xia Ping could do this, they naturally would not fall behind. They must work hard and catch up with Xia Ping in terms of cultivation. In a conference room somewhere in Yanhuang University, senior leaders gathered. Recently, a young student has been very active and caused a lot of trouble. Many students have also reacted. I wonder what everyone thinks. An old man said. His body exuded an unfathomable aura. Even though he was sitting in a chair and had a short stature, he had a sense of existence that others could not ignore and was full of pressure. There were also more than a dozen old men present, all of whom were senior leaders of the university, and their strength was terrifying. I also heard about this matter. He actually swept away hundreds of martial arts clubs at the 8th layer of martial arts, and he is even a commoner of Yanhuang planet. He is not simple. Indeed, to be able to defeat the descendants of the King family, this young man is very strong and has a lot of potential. I heard that he is also a member of the Giant Corporation and was recruited in high school. Tsk, he really has a good eye. I didn't expect the Giant Corporation to recruit such a young man with such potential. In short, he did not violate the school rules, so there is no need to punish him. Sometimes, Yanhuang University is still too peaceful. It just so happens that someone is needed to stir up this muddy water. With such stimulation, it might even form a good competition. No need to pay attention to it, just observe in secret. It may not be a bad thing for such a very energetic young man to appear. The dozen old men casually chatted and set the tone for this meeting. For these big shots, the matter of Xia Ping and the others was just child's play. As long as no lives were lost and the school rules were not broken, it was not a big deal. Next, we have to talk about the upcoming opening of the Cloud Mountain Range. This time, our Yanhuang University must not lose to other universities. Otherwise, the ancestors of Yanhuang University will be disgraced by us. An old man's tone was very serious. Compared to the trivial matter of Xia Ping, the matter of the Cloud Mountain Range was the most important matter. There were many secret treasures that even the king-level powerhouses desired. Chapter 368. Yanhuang University, somewhere in the training hall. At this time, many people gathered together. Among them, a fatty was very conspicuous and had become the focus of the crowd. He was Feng Hetong. Brother Feng, is what you said true? I heard that you are very familiar with the recently famous demon Xia Ping. A student looked at Feng Hetong curiously. The other students also looked at Feng Hetong. They were very curious about Xia Ping because Xia Ping's recent achievements were too exaggerated. He had simply swept the entire Yanhuang University Martial Arts Club. Even some of the older students who had been studying for a few years were not his match. They were easily beaten down. Now many students were simply jittery. It was not an exaggeration to say that Xia Ping's reputation in Yanhuang University had reached the level of a child crying. Of course, to be honest, I am Brother Xia's #1 follower. We are very close. In order to curry favor with him, I even gave him a kiss. Feng Hetong bragged. Since Xia Ping swept hundreds of martial arts clubs and defeated countless opponents, he established his position in Yanhuang University. As his #1 follower, Feng Hetong's status also rose. Even when he came out for training, a group of people curiously flattered him, which made him very happy. What the hell? A group of students was dumbfounded. They felt that there was a lot of information in Feng Hetong's words. Everyone's mouth twitched as they looked at Feng Hetong strangely. Brother Feng, it seems that you and Xia Ping are really familiar with each other. I have already kissed him. This relationship is proper. Sorry, Brother Feng. I looked down on you before. I didn't expect you to have such a close relationship with such a big shot. It really makes people look at you in a different light. It's admirable that you can bow and submit. Many students were full of admiration. In order to curry favor with a big shot, he could do this kind of thing. With this kind of spirit, many people could not do it. You are too polite. It's not that I can bow and submit. It's just that my respect for Big Brother is like the endless waves of the river. It's also like the flood of the Yellow River. Feng Hatong waved his hand. No matter what I do for Big Brother, I am willing. But I have been low-key and have not said anything. I hope that no one will spread this news and think that I am a greedy and vain person. He pretended to be very low-key. The mouths of the students twitched. This was the first time they had seen such a shameless person. He was definitely one of a kind. Stop bragging here. One of the students was very unhappy with Feng Hatong's bragging and sneered. Even if that Xiaoping's martial arts strength is a bit strong, his character is not good, his morals are low, and he is contemptible. Just because of that, I look down on him. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Everyone else looked over. They all recognized that this student was from the Kendo club. He had been beaten up by Xiaoping and had to lie in the hospital for 3 days to recover. Naturally, he hated Xiaoping. Hearing this, Feng Hatong gave him a sidelong glance. Oh, what's wrong with my big brother? What's wrong with my character? Didn't you see what he did? The student jumped out and cursed. I don't care if he challenges the major martial arts clubs. This is his right. But after he defeated the major clubs, he even stole their plaques. This is like breaking into someone's house to destroy and steal their property. If this is not a robber, what is a robber? He characterized Xiaoping's behavior as a robber's behavior and a criminal action. Bullshit. Feng Hatong shouted angrily. My big brother went to your martial arts club to challenge. It was a sightseeing tour, a tour to educate you on how to practice martial arts so that you could increase your knowledge. None of you know how to be grateful. Instead, you think that my big brother is destroying things. Do you know what shame is? As for taking away your club's plaque, it was taking away local specialties as a souvenir. Tell me, is it too much to go to a place to travel and take away some local specialties by the way? His spittle flew and he was filled with righteous indignation. The student went crazy. Beating them half to death was not to destroy things, but to teach them martial arts cultivation. Taking away their club's plaque was taking away local specialties. Even if you want to distort the truth, there should be a limit. He was so angry that he thought the fat man was too shameless. As expected, he was in cahoots with Xiaoping. Bullshit. Feng Hatong jumped up like an elephant raising its trunk. With a loud bang he punched out, instantly sending the student flying. He was knocked out on the spot, and half of his face was swollen. I Feng Hatong hate this kind of people who like to distort the truth and slander my big brother. They all have no morals, etiquette, or integrity. They speak with their conscience and don't know if they have any persistence in justice. Feng Hatong said righteously after knocking out the Kendo club student with a sneak attack. Brother Feng, you are right. This kind of people are like this. They have no conscience and only care about their own interests. Isn't that right? These students of the martial arts club are all hypocrites. You don't know how dirty their hearts are, but I've seen through them. They want to hurt the enemy maliciously when they are no match for him in a fight. This kind of people is despicable. I am ashamed to be associated with them. The students next to him came forward one by one to flatter him. It seems that there are still some righteous people in this world. There is still some hope for the world. It has not been led astray by evil. Feng Hatong nodded with satisfaction. Some of the students of the martial arts club were going crazy, and their hearts were about to explode with anger. A bastard who suddenly launched a sneak attack had the cheek to talk about propriety, justice, honor, and justice. Anyone could say something like that, except for this damn fatty. What's wrong? You all look very unconvinced. Believe it or not, I will immediately ask my big brother to come out and teach you how to practice. If I can't beat you up, I will change my surname to yours. Feng Hatong squinted at them and was very domineering. His eyes were on his forehead. What? Some martial arts club members were immediately scared to death and lowered their heads. If Xiaoping came to make trouble, they would be in trouble and have to stay in the hospital for a few days. Brother Feng, don't bother with these idiots. That's right. I wonder when Brother Feng can let me meet Brother Xia? I have admired Brother Xia for a long time. If Brother Xia summons us, we will come immediately. Yes, if Brother Xia can set up an organization, we will be duty-bound to join it. A group of students shouted. Set up an organization? Feng Hatong rolled his eyes and immediately had an idea. He said, this is easy. To tell you the truth, my big brother has long wanted to set up a martial arts club, hoping to dominate Yanhuang University. If you all join, it will be a success. Chapter 369. The next morning the sun was shining brightly. At this time, Xiaoping was sitting in the quiet room of the villa. An inexplicable force pervaded the quiet room, as if the air was vibrating. His clothes seemed to be fluttering without any wind, and his heart was beating like a war drum. Bang! At this moment the genuine qi in Xiaoping's body reached its peak, boiling like lava. Immediately, an acupoint in his body was opened, and he had finally opened the 9th acupoint. Martial artist 9th heaven realm. Walala! A large amount of genuine qi flowed into the 9th acupoint, like a river flowing into the sea. The meridians in his body were shaking, and the genuine qi was surging like water, containing terrifying power. At this moment, under the effect of the pure yang immortal art, the genuine qi in his body was quickly transformed into the power of genuine essence, turning into a dark red liquid, settling in the depths of his dantian. Finally promoted to the martial artist 9th heaven realm, Xiaoping opened his eyes, revealing a trace of terrifying light. There seemed to be a flame spinning in the depths of his pupils, with terrible destructive power. He felt that the strength of his body and the genuine qi were more than 50% stronger than before, and even his mental strength had been greatly tempered, becoming more tyrannical. After 3 weeks of cultivation, he constantly challenged other martial arts clubs, fought hundreds of battles, and completely refined the energy of the profounding pill and the 9-turn essence enhancing pill. Finally, he accumulated enough genuine qi to break through to the martial artist 9th heaven realm. His 9 acupoints were filled with majestic genuine qi, reaching the realm of 9-turn essence enhancing pill. The genuine qi in the 9 acupoints was constantly rotating, condensing into one, growing and multiplying endlessly. This was the peak power of the martial artist realm. The 8th heaven realm was completely different from the 9th heaven realm. Whether it was the speed of genuine qi recovery or the amount of genuine qi, it was not comparable to the 8th heaven realm. His strength had more than doubled, and only after reaching the 9th heaven realm could he truly touch a trace of the mystery of the martial master realm. The power of genuine essence has also transformed a lot. Xiaoping closed his eyes, and his mental strength permeated every part of his body. He felt that the genuine qi in the depths of his dantian was slowly transforming into genuine essence. The power of this genuine essence was even greater than before. If before, he could only make a martial master level attack containing the power of flames, but now he could make 10 punches, which was 10 times stronger. Moreover, the speed at which his vital energy was converted into vital essence was also greatly increasing. He was improving with every passing moment. If he could convert all the quintessence in his body into quintessence after a period of time, then he would truly be a martial master and become an elite student of Yanhuang University, raising his status. Once he became a martial master and an elite student, he would have a meteoric rise. Even if he dropped out of school now and returned to Yanhuang Star, he would still be able to become a general. Kill! Xiaoping took a step forward and thrust out a finger. A dark red true essence burst out, condensing into essence in midair. It was as if a flame was burning space, possessing an unparalleled destructive power. Dong! This finger easily pierced through the titanium alloy wall in front of him. The terrifying flames burned it as if it was piercing through tofu. The metal above was melted and dripped down. The sunlight outside shone through the hole and onto the ground. This is the power of a martial artist at the 9th heaven. It's really tyrannical, but the 9th acupoint is too big. Xiaoping clenched his fists and felt the tyrannical genuine qi gushing out of his body. He was a little emotional about his attack power. Even if he encountered a real martial master at the first heaven, he would not be afraid of the other party. However, he immediately discovered that the 9th acupoint was extremely huge. The genuine chi it could hold was twice as much as the previous 8 acupoints combined. If he wanted to completely fill the 9th acupoint with genuine chi, it would probably take more effort and absorb more energy. Moreover, Xiaping had been cultivating the pure yang immortal art, constantly expanding his acupoints. The genuine chi he could hold was probably more than 10 times larger than that of an ordinary martial artist, which required more cultivation resources. If it was an ordinary martial artist, it would take at least 3 or 4 years to slowly absorb the essence of heaven and earth to have a chance to reach the peak of the 9th heaven of the martial artist realm and obtain the opportunity to break through to the martial master realm. However, Xiaping now had a total of 160,000 points. Naturally, he could buy the best quality medicinal pills that could quickly increase genuine chi in the school, saving a lot of cultivation time. This was the benefit of having money. Others were still cultivating hard and working hard to absorb the spirit chi of heaven and earth. But if you had money, eating a medicinal pill would be comparable to years of cultivation for others. The gap was so big. In this world, the rich get richer and the strong get stronger. I want to buy 15 Dragon Tiger Rui pills. Thinking of this, Xiaping immediately logged into the Yanhuang University's shopping mall website and immediately bought 15 Dragon Tiger Rui pills. Once the order was placed, someone would soon come to deliver the pills. It was extremely convenient. However, such pills were extremely expensive. One was worth 10,000 points. However, Xiaping still bought it because it contained extremely abundant energy. With the power of the dragon and tiger, it could greatly speed up the genuine chi cultivation of the martial artist realm. In this way, he only had 10,000 points left, which was temporarily used for emergencies. By the way, I wonder how much hatred I have gained during this period of time? Xiaping also suddenly remembered that he had been causing trouble these days. He did not know how many people he had provoked and estimated that he would gain a lot of hatred. Beep. Sensing Xiaping's thoughts, the system immediately replied, "Congratulations to the host. This time you have aroused the anger of Yanhuang University. You have gained a total of 400,000 hatred points. Plus the previous ones, you have a total of 850,000 hatred points. 850,000 hatred points." Xiaping's eyes showed a glimmer of light. He remembered the previous system prompt. After getting 1,000,000 hatred points, he could get a big gift bag provided by the system. There were endless benefits in it. And the distance to 1,000,000 hatred points was only 150,000 away, which was not a lot. It's a pity that I still need 150,000 hatred points. Xiaping was a little regretful. He thought that this action should be able to reach 1,000,000 hatred points, but he didn't expect it to be a little short. But this was also normal. Although Xiaping's action caused public anger, not everyone hated him. Some people felt that he was unforgivable, while others thought that he was a hero. And even if his behavior is very inappropriate, causing trouble everywhere, it is not enough to make people have killing intent, to the extent that they will not rest until they die, so it is not bad to get 400,000 hate points. Beep. Suddenly, a message from the school came from Xiaping's smartwatch. With a snap, he opened it and took a look. The Cloud and Mist Mountain Range will open in 3 days. Students who intend to register, please log on to the school's homepage website, submit information, and review the registration. Chapter 370. Cloud Mountain Range? Is it finally going to open? Xiaping clenched his fists and was excited. Over the past few weeks, he had learned a lot about the Cloud Mountain Range. Although it was a mountain range, it was actually an alternate dimension. The spiritual energy in the world was rich, and it could be said to be an undeveloped primitive treasure land. A large number of natural treasures grew there, and each of them was worth a fortune. Many martial artists would go crazy for them, especially the water of life, which contained a large amount of life energy. If a martial artist consumed it, it would immediately increase his life potential and help him break through to the martial master realm. It was a treasure that could not be bought even with money. Of course, the Cloud Mountain Range was also very dangerous. There were many powerful monsters. If one was not careful, He would become the food of those monsters and die a horrible death. Sign up now. Without hesitation, Xiaoping immediately logged into the school's homepage and filled in his details to register for the mission to the Cloud Mountain Range. Ding! At this moment, a web page popped up from the smartwatch and a mechanical voice was heard. To sign up for the Cloud Mountain Range, we need to test your martial arts cultivation. Please stand in front of the web page for our inspection. Xiaoping nodded and immediately stood in front of the web page. Immediately, a beam of blue light was projected from the web page. From top to bottom, it seemed to have seen through all the mysteries of Xiaoping's martial arts and examined the circulation of his meridians. A few seconds later, the mechanical voice was heard again. Test passed. Freshman Xiaoping has advanced to the 9th heaven of martial artist and meets the requirements to enter the Cloud Mountain Range. Registration successful. 3 days later, please gather at the entrance of Yanhuang University and board the warship to the Cloud Mountain Range. With a snap, the web page closed automatically after saying this sentence. Success. Xiaoping clenched his fists and smiled. He originally thought that he would have to pay tens of thousands of points. However, after advancing to the 9th heaven of martial artist, he met the requirements and did not need to pay any fees. Ding dong! Suddenly, a bell rang outside the villa. It's Feng Hatang? But what's going on? Why are there so many people outside? Xiaoping had a strange expression because he saw the surveillance video outside the villa. Not only did Feng Hatang appear, but many other students also appeared. These students were all dressed in black suits and black leather shoes. Their hair was slicked back and waxed, so smooth that even ants would slide off them. Their entire bodies exuded a valiant aura. All of them looked like gangsters, except for the baseball bats, machetes, and other lethal weapons in their hands. With a bang, the door of the villa opened. Xiaoping walked to the door, wanting to see what was going on. Why did Feng Hatang bring a bunch of hoodlums here? Big brother. Seeing Xiaoping appear, Feng Hatang immediately cried out in surprise. He then turned his head and shouted to the group of lackeys behind him, "What are you still doing here? Hurry up and greet Big Brother." He was very angry that his subordinates did not know the rules. "Hello, Big Brother." Hearing this, the group of subordinates behind him, numbering close to 1,000 in number, all shouted in unison. They lowered their heads in unison, and their voices reverberated through the air. Everyone within a 10-kilometer radius could hear them. Some of the students in the nearby dormitories also popped their heads out, thinking that something big had happened and were watching the commotion nearby. "Big brother? What the hell is going on?" The corner of Xiaoping's mouth twitched as he looked at Feng Hatang. Why did he suddenly have a group of burdensome lackeys? Feng Hatang immediately said, "Big brother, these people have heard of Big Brother's fame and worship you very much. They all want to follow Big Brother and hope that Big Brother can help them. I see that these people are very sincere, so I reluctantly accepted them as Big Brother and lackeys. We want to establish a martial arts club in Yanhuang University in the future and dominate." He revealed a face of excitement. "Yes, Big Brother, accept us as your lackeys. We can't do anything else, but we are the best at bullying people and causing trouble everywhere. Big Brother, we have always admired you. If you are willing to accept us as your lackeys, even if we are your lackeys, it's not a problem. On this issue, we already have a certain level of awareness and are unafraid of death. Big Brother, accept us. Even if Big Brother likes women, we can wear women's clothes every day in the future." A group of lackeys shouted, showing a look of generosity at any time and place. Hearing these words, Xiaoping's mouth twitched. He didn't know where these bastards heard these strange rumors. They actually wanted to help him. It was too exaggerated. Was there something wrong with these bastards' brains? However, the motive of these people wanting to be his lackeys was not simple. They also wanted to dominate Yanhuang University, bully people and cause trouble. No matter how he looked at it, they wanted to find a sucker to cover them, and then make it convenient for them to do all kinds of bad things. But perhaps this was an opportunity. Xiaoping's eyes revealed a glimmer of light. If it was an ordinary person, they would definitely not be willing to do such a stupid thing and accept a group of burdens. However, he was not an ordinary person. He had a super hatred system. The more enemies he had, the more hatred he had, and the stronger he was. If he was alone in attracting hatred, the speed was too slow. If he formed an organization and let a group of lackeys help him attract hatred, wouldn't that be a lot of money? Okay, I can accept you, Xia Ping immediately said. Suddenly, a group of lackeys, including Feng Hatong, felt very surprised. They did not expect Xia Ping to agree so easily. They were originally prepared to be rejected. But the number of people in our organization is still too small. Xia Ping changed the topic. So, I need you to attract more people to join our martial arts organization. No matter what means you use, you must attract them. He gave these people an order. Attract more people? How many people do you need, big brother? Feng Hatong was stunned. Xia Ping said carelessly, the more the better. The more the better? But by doing so, won't it make our martial arts organization a mess of crooks and honest folk? Feng Hatong and others were a little confused. After all, which martial arts organization did not implement the elite policy? If you want to join, you must meet certain conditions and have noble character. You must go through 2 or 3 examinations and repeated checks. Otherwise, you are not qualified at all. But now listening to Xia Ping, it seemed that there were no conditions at all. Any cat or dog could join. What do you know? What I want is a mixture of good and bad people. What I want is a foul atmosphere. Xia Ping looked at Feng Hatong with disdain. If they were all well-behaved members and never stirred up trouble, he wouldn't have attracted any hatred. Well, whatever Big Brother says. Feng Hatong did not care why Xia Ping did this. Anyway, his big brother's words were right. By the way, I wonder what our martial arts organization should be called? Chapter 371. Many black-clothed men appeared around Yanhuang University. These people were handing out flyers everywhere. They're recruiting. The Pingtian Gate is recruiting. If you miss this village, there won't be a shop like this anymore. If you don't join now, you'll have to wait 3 years. 3 years, then 3 years. That's 6 years. It'll be too late for regrets. The people in black shouted and called the students passing by to join the Pingtian Gate. They were very enthusiastic. Pingtian Gate? What martial arts club is this? A student who did not know what was going on asked curiously. Feng Hatong immediately went forward and said, this is a newly established martial arts club. It's strong and has amazing potential. The president is Yanhuang University's #1 expert, Xia Ping. If you join now, you'll be a first-generation member. There will be many benefits and endless benefits. Xia Ping. The student screamed and immediately clenched his teeth. Is it that bully Xia Ping? That bastard injured so many members of the club and sent so many of my friends to the hospital. I hate him to the core. That bastard actually wants me to join this shitty club. He must be dreaming. He was so angry that his teeth were itching. He had been beaten by Xia Ping before, so the memory was still fresh. That's right. We won't join this bully club. What a joke. There are so many martial arts clubs in Yanhuang University. Why would they join a newly established club like yours? Don't think that you can do whatever you want in Yanhuang University just because you have the title of #1 expert. We won't join just because we said we won't join. That's how it is. Bite us if you can. The students sneered again and again. They were quite disgusted with Xia Ping. It was simply impossible for them to join the martial arts club established by Xia Ping. Many students even threw the flyers on the ground, stomped on them and spat on them, as if they wanted to vent their anger. Many students looked at the people from the Pingtian Gate mockingly, mocking them. Feng Hatong and the others advertised for a long time in Yanhuang University, but it was to no avail. Even if some people wanted to join, they were dissuaded by the people around them. After all, Xia Ping's reputation was too bad. Many people looked down on him. Brother, we can't do it anymore. We've been promoting outside for a long time, but no one wants to join. They're all short-sighted people. I look down on them. Feng Hatong once again returned to Xia Ping's villa with a look of indignation. That's right. It's their honor to be protected by Big Brother. How dare they look down on it? They don't know how to appreciate favors. I'm so angry when I see them. I want to punch them. All the lackeys were filled with righteous indignation and were extremely unhappy. Why do we have to advertise it? Xiaoping blinked his eyes. Feng Hatong was stunned. Big brother, if we don't advertise, how will those people join? What's the purpose of our club? To put it simply, it's to bully men and take women, and do all kinds of evil. Xiaoping was exasperated. You actually want to promote it? Are you kidding me? If you like someone, you can just rob them. If they don't agree, you can threaten, beat, blackmail, or kidnap them. After that, you can make them join you willingly. Even if he's not willing at first, he'll be willing after a few more beatings. He put forward his proposal. Big brother, is that even possible? Feng Hatong and the rest were dumbfounded. However, they had to admit that if those students were beaten a few times, they would probably agree willingly if they didn't want to die. Why not? In ancient times, there was a bandit faction called the Yellow Turban Army. When they swept through the world, they crazily plundered refugees and forced them to join the Yellow Turban Army. In a short year, their numbers grew to over 1 million, becoming one of the few forces in the world. Xiaoping sighed. With the bronze mirror as a mirror, one can dress properly. With people as a mirror, one can know the gains and losses. With history as a mirror, one can know the rise and fall. These are all lessons learned from the mistakes of the past. Have you not learned anything? Big brother, why did I hear that the Yellow Turban Army was destroyed? Feng Hatong and the rest's mouths twitched. They felt that the Yellow Turban Army did not have a good ending. That's because their boss is useless. He's a good-for-nothing. Xiaoping stood with his hands behind his back and said in disdain, if they had the world's #1 expert as their commander, they would be invincible and seize the throne. Fortunately, you have me as your boss. That's why you can dominate Yanhuang University. Do you understand? He looked at Feng Hatong and others. Understood, big brother. We'll do it now. If someone doesn't join, we'll beat them until they join. Many of the younger brothers shouted. However, sometimes the means do not necessarily rely on violence. There can also be fraud. This is the so-called carrot and stick approach. Xiaoping changed the topic. He also taught Feng Hatong and others some of the MLM methods of his previous life on Earth. This is a supreme weapon to develop and strengthen forces. Can be said to be successful. In a place like Yanhuang Planet, such means have not appeared yet. Once it does, it will definitely cause great destruction. Oh my God, big brother, you are too insidious. Such a despicable and shameless scheme, why didn't I think of it? Big brother is really cunning. You are so bad that you are oozing pus. You are a natural liar. I am a little afraid of being cheated by big brother. If big brother does something illegal, I guarantee that he will definitely be the world's most wanted criminal. I don't know how many people will be displaced and their families destroyed. How much psychology has he mastered and how many people's hearts have he toyed with to come up with such a method? When Big Brother was on Yanhuang Planet, did he also cheat women like this? With such a method, no matter how many women there are, they have to obediently surrender and give birth to Big Brother's children. However, after Big Brother said this, I suddenly became enlightened. In this way, why should we worry about our Pingtian sect not growing stronger? In the future, we will be the elders of the Pingtian sect. We can definitely dominate Yanhuang University. I knew that if I follow Big Brother, I will definitely be able to live well and reach the peak of life. After listening to Xiaoping's words, Feng Hatong and others were filled with emotions. The way they looked at Xiaoping changed. They were incomparably worshipping him. One by one, they stepped forward to flatter him. The corner of Xiaoping's mouth twitched. Why did he feel that these words were not flattery but contempt for him? However, he did not pursue this matter. He immediately said, okay, don't talk nonsense here. Hurry up and strengthen our Pingtian sect. I want the Pingtian sect to become the #1 martial arts club in Yanhuang University. He gave these people his orders. Yes, big brother. Feng Hatong and others shouted one by one, excited. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Chapter 372. After getting Xiaoping's plan, Feng Hatong and the others were like locusts, pulling people from all over the school. They used all kinds of despicable methods, pulling everyone into the Pingtian sect regardless of their aptitude. If they didn't agree, they would drag them to a corner and beat them up until they agreed. In just 2 days, the Pingtian sect had grown 20 to 30 times its original size. It had grown from a small group of 1,000 people to 30,000. It could be said to be the largest martial arts club in Yanhuang University. Regardless of the overall strength of the club, just the number of people was definitely the largest in Yanhuang University. After all, there were only 200,000 people in each grade in Yanhuang University, and there were 4 grades in total. At most, there were 800,000 people, and some of them had become elite students. Therefore, the scale of 30,000 people was definitely huge. This operation also shocked the other martial arts clubs. They were all dumbfounded. They had no idea how the Pingtian sect had developed so quickly. One had to know that clubs like the Kendo Club, Fist Club, and Blade Club had hundreds of years of history. They had gone through all kinds of hardships to reach their current scale, but the Pingtian sect had caught up to them in just a few days. This was too exaggerated and unimaginable. Amazing. Why is the Pingtian sect so amazing? Tens of thousands of people have joined in just a few days. This is unbelievable. Even veteran clubs like the Kendo Club haven't attracted so many people after developing in Yanhuang University for so many years. It's really too strange. It's unbelievable. Does that bastard Xiaoping really have such great charisma? How many people follow him when he calls for help? Everyone was discussing this on the forum. They were all extremely shocked by this matter. In just 2 days, the Pingtian sect had become the #1 club in Yanhuang University. It was terrifying. The martial arts club members were even more aggrieved. Now, not only had their president been beaten up by Xiaoping, but even their club was being oppressed by that bastard? Wouldn't that mean that this fellow would have to ride on their heads and act like a tyrant in the future, defecating and peeing? Charisma my ass. A student scolded online. Those people from the Pingtian sect are shameless to the extreme. Do you know how they recruit members? To put it simply, it's just 5 words. Swindling and beating. What exactly is the meaning of this? The group of people were incomparably gossipy, extremely curious about the inside story. The student shouted, what else could it mean? Those bastards from the Pingtian sect have set up stalls on the major commercial streets of Yanhuang University, selling pills. They say they can buy 1 and get 10 free. We were so excited when we heard this news. You can even buy 1 and get 10 free. Isn't this a pie falling from the sky? It would be stupid not to seize such an opportunity, so we all came forward to buy the pills. However, the other party took out a form and asked us to fill it out. They said that if we want to buy the pills, we must become a member of their shop. At that time, we didn't suspect anything and just wrote it down. We thought it was some kind of commercial promotion. Only later on did we realize that it was a fucking huge trap. How is this a membership form? It's clearly a membership form from the Pingtian sect. In the end, we were all tricked into the Pingtian sect and fell into their trap. We couldn't escape even if we wanted to. They could do that. Many students on the forum were dumbfounded. This was the first time they had seen membership recruitment like this. At this point, the student became even more indignant. It's fine if we join the Pingtian sect. It's just joining a martial arts club. It's no big deal. What's worse is that we wanted to buy pills from them saying buy 1 and get 10 free. But do you know what they did? We bought 1 pill and they actually gave us 10 stones. 10 stones the size of goose eggs. They shamelessly said that it was buy 1 and get 10 free. They're fair to all. I gave them fucking gifts. Is there such a thing as buy 1 and get 10 free? The corners of everyone's mouths twitched. They were speechless. They actually felt that there was nothing wrong with the logic. After all, buy 1 and get 10 free did not specify what to give. It was just that the other party thought they were giving 10 pills. They did not expect them to give 10 stones. However, this kind of behavior was quite shameless. We're in the same boat. It's the same for me. However, you were deceived by the despicable peddler who sold pills while I was scammed. Another student also shouted when I was walking. A few Pingtian sect bastards came over and said they wanted to spar with me. One of them, a skinny student, said that he cultivated a body of endurance martial arts. His defense was off the charts and he was invincible. Experts of the same level could not break through his defense at all. He even asked me to try punching him. If I could break through his defense, he would give me 1,000 points. At that time I was very curious. Was this guy's endurance martial arts really that powerful? Moreover, if I defeated him, I could even get 1,000 points. That was why I was tempted. Without saying a word, I threw a punch at him. But before I could hit his chest, that skinny student fell to the ground with an... He was still shouting that someone was hit, someone was hit, someone was hit. He even spat blood out of his mouth. It was very realistic. Then, a few tall and burly students surrounded me. They fiercely demanded that I pay. If I didn't have the money, I would have to join the Pingtian sect and work like a slave. I had no choice. I was just a poor student. After being threatened like that, I was so scared that I peed my pants. I obediently joined the Pingtian sect. As he spoke, he began to cry. He had never been scammed in his life. This time he finally gave up. Me too. I was also scammed by those Pingtian sect bastards. However, I've been scammed many times since I was young. I'm very experienced in dealing with scammers. I saw through their scam immediately. Another student also shouted at that time. I righteously rejected their shameless request. I firmly refused to join this ridiculous martial arts club. I even criticized their immoral behavior. However, I didn't expect those bastards to fly into a rage. 20 to 30 burly men surrounded me and said they wanted to spar with me. I spar with their faces. 20 to 30 of them beat me up. Is this a spar? It's clearly a gang fight. As you can imagine, I was beaten up like a pig. In the end, I really couldn't take it anymore, so I agreed to join the Pingtian sect. He described how he had been treated the day before with a face full of grief and indignation. Me too, me too. I was scammed at that time. I stupidly wrote an application form and joined. The Pingtian sect has scammed countless people. Back then I would rather die than join, but I was also beaten up. I don't know where those bastards learned how to scam people. They're too despicable. Those bastards even threatened us. We had to bring 2 new members with us. Otherwise, we would be beaten up and even have to pay a fine. Chapter 373. One by one, the victims came out to complain about their tragic experiences. They spoke of how they were forced to join the Pingtian sect. All of them were extremely aggrieved, and everyone could empathize with them. Cheating, kidnapping, and beating people up. How shameless. No wonder they can pull so many people into the Pingtian sect. Being forced like this, they have to join any student they meet. The most despicable ones are the students who join the Pingtian sect. Everyone has to pull 2 newcomers in. If this continues, the entire Yanhuang University will be filled with them. No wonder they reached 30,000 members in just 2 days. If they were given a few more days, would there still be people left in our martial arts clubs? How is this a martial arts club? It's clearly a criminal gang. Everyone is a criminal. If the upper beam is not straight, the lower beam will be crooked. Such a good martial arts club has been turned into a mess by Xiaoping. After a long time, who would want to join other clubs? Everyone has been forced to join the Pingtian sect. There's no room for us martial arts clubs to survive. Immediately, countless martial arts club members were in an uproar. They immediately understood why the Pingtian sect had developed so quickly. In just 2 days, they had gained 30,000 members and were known as the #1 club in Yanhuang University. If they were forced to join like this, given enough time, they would be able to pull in as many people as they wanted. Immediately report this to the school authorities. Tell them that the Pingtian sect is using illegal methods to pull in members. If this continues, our club will be completely finished. If we let such a black sheep stay in Yanhuang University, there will be no chance for us to make a name for ourselves. If we don't show our power, they'll really think we're sick cats. We must teach Xiaoping a lesson this time. Many big shots of the clubs were filled with righteous indignation. If stealing the plaque was a slap in their faces, then it was a threat to the very foundation of their club's survival. If everyone in their club was pulled away, then the entire martial arts club would fall apart and cease to exist. Therefore, they would definitely not sit idly by and let Xia Ping and the others continue to run amok here. Without hesitation, the big shots of the clubs went to the school administration office to complain, hoping to ban the evil martial arts club called the Pingtian sect and stop them from continuing to do evil here. Feng Hatong and the others quickly heard the news and went to the administration office to refute it. Xia Ping did not show up personally, leaving all these matters to Feng Hatong and the others to handle. I heard that your Pingtian sect has been stirring up trouble and committing all sorts of crimes in the school. You've been using all sorts of illegal methods to recruit other students into the martial arts club. Is that true? The head of the academic affairs office was having a headache. This was the first time he had seen such a troublemaking student. Not only did he not stop after destroying hundreds of clubs, he even established a martial arts club and snatched away many students. This was clearly a ruthless extermination. There's no such thing. Feng Hatong said righteously. It's all because of these losers. They're slandering us maliciously. They're jealous that our Pingtian sect is developing like the midday sun, so they're spreading rumors everywhere to slander us. I believe that you, Dean of Academic Affairs, are a smart man. You must be able to see the shameless, despicable, and insidious mentality of these stray dogs. They just can't stand to see others doing well. Hearing this, the big shots of the martial arts clubs were furious. Damn fatty, who are you talking about? Who's a stray dog? Watch your tone. You're accusing us of malicious slander? Slander my ass. You swindled, beat, and used these shameless methods to rope in members. Is that wrong? That's right. We have many witnesses here who can prove that you've used illegal methods to compete maliciously and deliberately disrupted the school's order. In the long run, the school will no longer be a school. All of them glared at Feng Hatong and the others. They wanted to eat the Pingtian sect alive. Is this the evidence you're talking about? Bullshit. You're making things up. Feng Hatong denied all the accusations. I admit that we did use some methods to recruit members, but they're just for novelty. There's nothing against the school's rules. It's just like doing business. You can only succeed by winning by surprise. Who said that you can only do business honestly and others aren't allowed to advertise? Immediately, the group of people was stunned. They were also rather dumbfounded. It was indeed as Feng Hatong said. Although their methods were despicable, there was nothing illegal about them. First, they had used the buy one get 10 free marketing method to attract students and trick them into joining the Pingtian sect. However, thinking about it carefully, it was just a misunderstanding from the students. From the beginning to the end, they had never said that they would give 10 pills. Moreover, the students had filled in the application willingly without any reluctance. If there was anything wrong, it could only be said that the students had misunderstood. It had nothing to do with the Pingtian sect. As for the so-called scam, it was just the people involved talking nonsense. There were no witnesses around, so who could say that it was scam? Couldn't it be a false accusation? In this world, it was not impossible for some people to bribe witnesses to give false testimony. As for the acts of beating up students and forcing them to join, according to Feng Hatong and the others' explanation, it was purely martial arts practice. It was part of the Pingtian sect's earnest teaching and not bullying. The group of society elders was so angry that smoke was coming out of their noses. What did they mean by distorting the truth? What did they mean by making the dead come to life? That was exactly what they meant by the shameless Pingtian sect. It was clearly these bastards who had used all sorts of illegal methods to force some students to join the Pingtian sect. Now they were saying that they were jealous and framing them. How shameless! They had never seen such shameless people in their lives. Hearing this, the teaching director was also speechless. If they really wanted to investigate, the Pingtian sect's methods were very problematic. If every society did the same, the world would definitely be in chaos. However, the Pingtian sect walked the line between light and darkness. They had found a loophole in the school rules, so they could not punish the Pingtian sect. Therefore, the Pingtian sect had nothing to fear. In the end, after thinking for a long time, the teaching director finally came to a decision. The Pingtian sect was not allowed to use illegal methods to recruit members in the future. The students had to join voluntarily. The other martial arts societies could not follow suit. As for this matter, even if it ended like this, it still acknowledged the Pingtian sect's legitimacy in recruiting members. The people from the other martial arts societies were so angry that their teeth itched. They had caused such a big incident, but the Pingtian sect was not punished. They were really dissatisfied and very unconvinced. However, the teaching director had already given the order, so they could not do anything. Feng Hetong and the others complained that the punishment was unfair, and that they were bullying others too much. They were not satisfied with the decision, but they were all secretly happy, even if they could not use such methods to recruit members in the future. Chapter 374. In the hall of a villa in the elite area of Yanhuang University, 3 or 4 people were discussing something. One of them looked similar to Su Jianhua. He was Su Jianhua's brother, Su Yunlong, an expert at the second heaven of the martial master realm. His body exuded a condensed aura. Just sitting in a chair, he could make people feel a strong sense of oppression, as if there was a terrifying fierce beast hibernating in his body. Once it broke out, it would be earth-shattering. The aura of the other 3 people was also extremely strong. They were all experts at the first heaven of the martial master realm. They had transformed their genuine qi into genuine essence, and every move they made had the aura of a master. Such a powerhouse would be a powerhouse in Yanhuang Star, strong enough to command an army. Even in the cloud realm, he would be regarded as a master, strong enough to fight 1,000 enemies. They were all members of the Su family, and could be regarded as Su Yunlong's uncles. They were all over 40 or 50 years old. They were called Su Bowen, Su Bo, and Su Buochuan. Yunlong, this time we are here to talk about the scourge Xiaoping. I wonder if you know anything about that kid? The first to speak was Su Bowen. He was the backbone of these 3 people. He looked cultured and refined, but he was actually sinister and ruthless in secret. He had a belly full of poisonous schemes, and he could be said to be the Su family's think tank. Of course I know. Su Yunlong's eyes flickered. Recently, this kid has caused trouble in Yanhuang University and harmed many people. At present, there is no one in the entire Yanhuang University who is more famous than him. Not to mention his record of single-handedly defeating hundreds of clubs. Just the fact that he formed a martial arts club with tens of thousands of people in a few days shows that he is not only a reckless man but also extremely wise. He was not the kind of person who would not go out. Naturally, he knew what Xiaoping had done in Yanhuang University recently. Very famous? That's a little troublesome. Su Bowen's face was gloomy. This kid killed several geniuses of my Su family, and is my sworn enemy. The more famous he is, the more disadvantageous it is for my Su family. He has already caused trouble in Yanhuang University when he is only in the martial warrior realm. If he is promoted to the martial master realm or even the grand master realm, our Su family will have to obey him in the future. He clenched his fists, feeling very unhappy. The more he knew about what Xiaoping had done, the greater the sense of crisis in his heart. If this continued, that brat would definitely become a king-level powerhouse. At that time, their Su family would be finished. There's also your brother Su Jianhua. Su Bo also said. He seemed to have brought a lot of people to deal with Xiaoping, and chased him all the way to the gloomy Corpse Mountain range. However, a month has passed and there is still no news of him. He's probably dead. We're guessing that he was probably killed by Xiaoping. His entire army was wiped out. He clenched his fists tightly, and a murderous aura emanated from his body. His heart was in turmoil. Although we don't have any evidence, this matter is definitely related to Xiaoping. Su Buochuan gritted his teeth. I've also found some news. The Lu family's descendant Lu Weihai had a conflict with Xiaoping in Yincorp City, and Lu Weihai even secretly sent people to deal with him, killing their way into the Yincorp's mountain range. But he hasn't come out yet. The Lu family is furious, but they can't find the murderer. They can't even find the corpse. In the end, they can only leave it unsettled. I feel that this matter is definitely related to that little bastard Xiaoping. Su Yunlong, what do you think of this matter? He looked at Su Yunlong. I'm not interested in this matter, Su Yunlong lightly said. His face did not have any expression. With a pang, Su Buochuan suddenly stood up. His body trembled and the red wooden chair beside him was shattered to pieces. He angrily stared at Su Yunlong. Su Yunlong, what do you mean by this? Your brother is dead, possibly killed by that little bastard Xiaoping. And you dare say you're not interested? Are you still a member of my Su family? Don't you have any family spirit? He flew into a rage. Of course I'm a member of the Su family, but that idiot brother of mine overestimated himself. If he wanted to find trouble with others, he should have already thought of this outcome. He didn't have the strength to learn how to take revenge. He died in vain. Su Yunlong was not moved at all by his brother's death. His tone was indifferent. You. Su Buochuan gritted his teeth. He was half dead from anger, wanting to make a move. But before he could make a move, Su Yunlong's expression was indifferent. He didn't see how he did it, but the temperature of the entire room dropped sharply. Starting from his feet, the ground instantly froze, and the chills spread quickly. In just a breath's time, Su Buochuan's feet were completely frozen, and even a gust of cold air invaded his lungs. Stop, Yunlong. Seeing this, the two people next to him were shocked and immediately told Su Yunlong to stop. Hearing this, Su Yunlong also stopped and looked at Su Buochuan indifferently. Uncle Buochuan, in this world, the fist is the truth. Strength is the only thing that is truly reliable. What family, what relationship, what power, what tricks, in the face of absolute strength they are all scum. No matter how you struggle, when you meet a king-level powerhouse, the other party can turn the Su family into powder with just an order. Don't you understand this? Each of you is self-righteous, immersed in the glory of your family, not thinking about making progress, and stubborn. This is why the Su family has not been able to leave planet Yanhuang so far. You are old, and now is the era of the young. His tone was indifferent, but it contained an unquestionable meaning. You. Su Buochuan gritted his teeth, but his heart was also shocked. Su Yunlong was only at the second heaven of the martial master realm, which was only a small realm higher than him, but he did not even need to make a move to subdue him. If Su Yunlong wanted to make a move, he could kill him in one breath. Such a gap in strength made him feel despair. Yunlong, you are capable now. You have fur wings and you have grown up. You even cultivated the king-level cultivation method Xianming Sutra, and cultivated the power of isotribute true qi. Every move you make contains the power of heaven. The few of us are no match for you. Su Bowen spoke in a low voice. But don't forget that you're still a member of my Su clan in the end, and your current accomplishments are all thanks to the resources my Su clan bestowed upon you. Could it be that you can't do something for the Su clan? Doing something is natural. After all, I am still a member of the Su family. Su Yunlong said indifferently. But you are too narrow-minded. You have stayed on planet Yanhuang for too long, and you have forgotten what dominates this world. Now that I have made a move, I just want to teach you this. Of course, I will still kill that Xiaoping. A cold light flashed in his eyes. Su Bowen raised his eyebrows. Why? Aren't you unwilling to make a move? Chapter 375. His Secret. Hearing this, Su Bowen and the others looked at Su Yunlong in confusion. Didn't you notice one thing? That kid's rate of improvement is simply too fast. Su Yunlong said coldly. When he entered the university, he was only at the fifth sky of the martial artist realm. But today, in just a short period of time, he actually advanced to the eighth sky of the martial artist realm. It's fine if it's just the speed of improvement, but he actually cultivated a powerful protective technique. Even a martial artist one level higher than him can't break through his defense. According to my investigation, after entering Yanhuang University, he didn't even step into the library and didn't exchange for any king-level techniques. What does this mean? It means that he must have a big secret and learned a powerful technique from somewhere. That's why he doesn't care about the martial arts manuals of Yanhuang University and improved so fast. He pointed out the reason why he was curious about Xiaoping's secret. Indeed, we also suspect this. Su Bowen couldn't help but nod. That kid is just a trash from the city enforcement. He was originally ordinary, but since the third year of high school, He suddenly improved by leaps and bounds and became a genius that attracted the attention of the world. He was even recruited by the giant company. No matter how I think about it, it's very strange. We suspect that the little bastard had some amazing encounter, but no matter how we investigate, we can't find anything fishy. It's very strange. He was also very confused about this matter. But no matter how much effort the Su family put in, even investigating everyone around Xiaping, paying attention to any clues, they couldn't find anything useful. As time passed, they gave up on investigating. It's fine if we can't find anything, we can just ask directly, Su Yunlong said calmly. Su Bo was shocked. What do you mean by that? Are you going to deal with that little bastard? This is a bit troublesome. This is Yanhuang University, there are surveillance everywhere. Also, he has the protection of the giant company. This is a bit tricky. They also wanted to kill Xiaping, but in Yanhuang University they couldn't do it at all. Once they did, they would be immediately monitored and their Su family would be finished. What are you afraid of? Su Yunlong sneered. I'm an elite student of Yanhuang University. I have special privileges in the university. Even if I go a little overboard, no one can do anything to me. Tomorrow I'll go see that Xiaping. Call him out and interrogate him face to face. I really want to see what kind of 3 heads and 6 arms he has, and what kind of shocking secrets he is hiding. A look of greed appeared in his eyes. If he could obtain the secret of Xiaping's rapid improvement, it might help him break through to a higher realm of martial arts. This kind of greed was the direct reason why he dealt with Xiaping. Even if his brother was killed, he wouldn't care in the slightest. Good, very good. With you, Yunlong, taking action, there will be no mistakes. Hearing this, Su Bochuan's anger immediately dissipated. As long as Su Yunlong agreed to help Xiaping, that brat would be dead for sure. He knew what kind of person Su Yunlong was. He was known as the #1 genius of the Su family. He was vicious and merciless, and even more feared than Su Yuntian. With such a person personally taking action, there was no reason for Xiaping to not die. But tomorrow seems to be the time for the opening of the Cloud Mountain Range. According to that brat's character, he will definitely participate. Su Bowen's eyes flickered. He knew a lot of information. If he enters the Cloud Mountain Range, obtains a huge fortuitous encounter, breaks through to the Martial Master realm, and becomes an elite student, then I'm afraid it will be much more difficult for us to deal with him. Once one reached the Martial Master realm, whether it was status or strength, there would be earth-shaking changes. Even the Su family would have to feel a trace of fear towards a Martial Master realm expert. Even the school would pay more attention to elite students. If one died, there would be a thorough investigation. Su Bo and Su Bochuan's hearts tightened. They knew that they absolutely could not let Xiaping continue to advance like this. Otherwise, it would be even more difficult to deal with him. So when he went to the Cloud Mountain Range, I stopped him. He still wanted to enter the Cloud Mountain Range to obtain a fortuitous encounter and advance to the Martial Master realm. I did not give him this chance at all. Su Yunlong sneered and clenched his fist, revealing a ruthless expression. At this moment, the sky was just beginning to brighten. In a villa in the ordinary student district, Xiaping sat in a quiet room in the villa. Over the past 3 days, he had not paid attention to the Pingtian sect. He had focused on cultivating and consumed the 15 dragon tiger pills that he had bought. These pills immediately transformed into a large amount of true qi that surged into his 9th acupoint, filling it up continuously. Even when the true qi was extremely dense, it transformed into a large amount of true qi. The true qi in the depths of his dantian was dark red, like a cluster of flames burning inside his dantian. If he could deliver 10 punches with the strength of a martial master before, then he could deliver 20 punches now. The power of his true qi had doubled. Under the burning of the dark red flames, his body was continuously tempered, making it even stronger. It was like steel that had been tempered thousands of times. Every move he made contained great strength. Boom, when the 15 Dragon Tiger Rui pills fused into his body and were refined by the pure Yang immortal incantation in his body, the fiery Zhenyuan power vibrated, and a dark red flame appeared on his body. The temperature of the room rose sharply, and even the air seemed to be burning. The cement floor was also burned by the dark red flames. It actually melted and looked like it had turned into magma. Phew! Xiaoping opened his eyes and let out a deep breath. The flames in the air immediately retracted and were absorbed through every pore of his body, merging with his blood. The surrounding temperature also returned to normal. What a pity, the dragon tiger pills are no longer useful to me. Xiaoping's eyes flickered. The 15 dragon tiger pills had given him a large amount of true qi. There were many benefits. The converted true qi had filled up half of his acupoints. However, taking too many of these pills had already caused his body to develop antibodies. Even if he took more, it would not have any effect. He had to find other spirit herbs. Perhaps only the water of life will be useful. Oh right, today seems to be the day the Cloud Mist Mountains opens. I have to go to the entrance of Yanhuang University. Xiaoping suddenly remembered that today was the day the Cloud Mist Mountains opened. His opportunity to advance to the Martial Master Realm was probably at the Cloud Mist Mountains. If he could obtain a large amount of the Water of Life, he would definitely be able to quickly refine his true qi and break through to the Martial Master Realm. I wonder what kind of secret realm the Cloud Mist Mountains is? Xiaoping was looking forward to it. He also turned his eyes and remembered something. By the way, I have turned off the system prompts these days. I don't know how much hatred has increased. I wonder if it is enough to get 1 million hatred points? You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.